It is 6:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. 5 players are listed as questionable for Saturday's AFC South title tilt at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those players are Traylon Burks, Dylan Cole, Christian Fulton, Amani Hooker, and Nicholas Petit-Frere. Meanwhile, Terrell Basham, Danico Autry, Derrick Henry, Jeffrey Simmons, and Josh Thompson did not have injury designations yesterday and are expected to play. Only Devontae Harris has been ruled out. According to doctors, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is beginning to awaken as he shows substantial improvement in his recovery. Hamlin is still considered critically ill, but it does appear that his neurological condition is intact. The Week 17 game between the Bengals and the Bills has been canceled and will not continue, the league announced yesterday. Also, the league's competition committee approved multiple scenarios in which the AFC Championship could be played at a neutral site. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
It's Friday, and we plan on acting like it. Week 18, Titans Game Day Eve on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. The first Friday energy show of the year 2023 with Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, and the best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer, making the show happen.
The best producer in the world!
It is not only a Titans Game Day Eve, it is Ramon Foster Eve. And we plan on acting like it's that as well. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
Kayla coming in early bearing gifts, man.
That's
I
right.
was just like, what? What are you doing? I thought we was going to have a normal,
No.
peaceful Friday. But you know what? Kayla's in here acting like Friday, man.
Yeah, we can't just sit here and act like we
Thank
don't know
you.
it's your birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, Kayla.
And
Friday?
there's a special message, Ramon, to you for your birthday tomorrow. Listen to this.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care.
Good luck.
Thank you, Stephen A. Really appreciate that.
I love
I
that.
love
care.
that.
I
It
mean, we
makes me
care.
laugh.
Stephen A. doesn't care.
Stephen A. want to do his job, man.
Right?
Just go on by his
Stephen
show.
A.'s more focused on Skip this week, probably.
So I actually did not hear where that came from. And I think some people listening on here probably didn't know. So what exact bit was that from?
I don't even remember.
we know?
No.
Okay, I don't
look.
either.
I
I just
don't
hear it
even
a lot
remember.
and it cracks me up.
Yeah.
But I never knew like where it exactly came from and what conversation he was having with who knows what co-host at the time.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
Was it like LeBron's birthday? Because LeBron just
I'm sure it
had
was.
a killer day on his birthday.
I
So
want to say it was, I'm looking at, maybe Clayton Kershaw.
is it real?
Oh, really?
Clayton Kershaw's 30th birthday.
He
Okay.
did Clayton like that, man.
I know. Now, LeBron, I could see him doing like that because
Yeah.
I think he like goes off
He
sometimes
does.
on Bron.
He,
But Clayton Kershaw, I mean, come on. Straight bullets here at the
that's what I'm
young man.
saying. Clayton, 32. Come on, Stephen A. That's a real good clip, though. I
It is
love
really
that.
good.
2018 Clayton Kershaw
Look at it.
birthday on the Dan Levitard show.
There you go.
Wow. Thank you guys.
It
for
would
that.
have-
it was a
on
it was a
Levitard.
Levitard bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Perfect.
that would happen
Great.
on his.
So yeah, everybody wish Ramon Foster a happy, I think he's like 25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you,
so
Kayla.
he's
awesome.
Will's age.
So
Yeah,
you're 22, right?
Oh yeah, I'm 19.
I don't know about you.
Got in the industry early. Okay.
I think
Lovely.
my favorite age for some reason, I always want to just stay 27.
27.
That was
almost there.
that's my age.
Some did.
Perfect.
The 27 Club.
That's kind of
You
weird.
knew
I
about
didn't even
that,
think
didn't
about
you?
that.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that I'm
Yeah, that you're thinking about.
I'm glad I did get past that, but
Yeah, allegedly you did.
Yeah.
Allegedly you got
Allegedly.
past
Reports
it.
say.
Yeah, I was going 22, Kayla. That's where I'm sticking from here on
Thanks,
out.
Mom. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Kayla. That threw me off right there,
Yeah,
man.
for the
birthday
listeners,
cookie.
it's just a big, giant birthday cookie, which I hope everybody in this room and back there has had some.
Yeah.
Because you will
I'm so
have some
excited.
today.
Look at
That's
that.
breakfast. That's probably first lunch.
First lunch.
First lunch. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Lunch.
It's first lunch.
And then what do we got? First snack?
No, it's breakfast and first lunch for me.
This is how it works on the morning show.
That's
It
right.
is. We got to do it ourselves sometime.
That's right.
You
Exactly.
being petty. I woke up choosing violence today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Not
On a
really,
Friday?
but I feel like that's where we're headed.
I choose violence.
As good as Inky was, now we're choosing violence,
Exactly.
right?
Well, do you want to keep choosing violence on tanking talk from Tennessee Titans fans today?
I'm not with it.
I'm not going there, folks. After being in that locker room yesterday,
Yeah.
I'm really not with it.
Where's their mindset at? On tanking?
No.
Okay, all right. Just checking. Just the checking,
No.
okay?
Well, then let's go to Caples on the phone lines this morning
Oh.
to begin the show. Good morning,
Okay.
Caples. How are we?
Y'all already know how I feel.
Tell us, Kate.
Y'all already know how I feel, man. And even though one of those tankers was my homeboy, Cuzzo Mike, hopefully he ain't in jail nowhere. Hopefully, that altercation he had yesterday turned out peacefully.
I know. I was nervous about that, man.
Ain't no professional in that locker room trying to lose tomorrow. Ain't nobody in that locker room like, hey, man, let's go down here and lose so we can get a draft pick that might not turn out right like the rest of the draft picks that ain't turned out right in the past 3 years. Let's go lose the game. Ain't no athlete thinking that way. Every athlete that step out on the court that's worth a penny is going to want to win a game, especially when everything you want is right there in front of you, despite 6-game losing streak, despite injuries, despite everything. One game and you in the big dance, and they done already proved before that if they get on a streak, they can do some things. So, like I was talking to Shafe a few minutes ago, it's like, hey, man, I'm neither here or there with it, but I am, dog. You can keep that noise. You talking about tanking and losing, man. Keep that energy to yourself. If you're a real Titans fan, you tuning in tomorrow, you want to win, you want to go screw Duval and let's do this thing, man. So, keep that energy to yourself. If you're a real Titans fan, let's tighten up and let's do this, man.
Yeah.
And my last thing to the big dude sitting over there, well, he ain't too big no more. He's slimming down, getting all sexy and everything. Ramon.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, dog. I know I'm telling you today because I can't tell you tomorrow because, you're going to be doing your thing and everything. But, hey, bro, we appreciate you. We love you, man. We love the growth that we done seen since you done started this thing them years ago and how professional and how good you done settled in it, man, and how you represent our city even though you from that other team. But, hey,
That's what I was waiting on.
Keep that
energy. Your wife's on that other team, too, ain't she? Ooh.
But you said the key word, wife. You know what I mean? Happy life, happy wife. You know that.
Yeah, you dog all right.
My wife and your wife from the same cut, bro. You already know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Happy birthday, big dog. We love you,
Appreciate
man.
it. No
Tighten
doubt.
up, y'all. Tighten up.
Tighten
up. Gas pedal.
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
Gas
Yeah.
pedal.
Great way to set the tone
Yeah.
for the show.
I-
'Cause that is the energy we
All
get
right,
all
Kate.
day.
Capes, there we go.
And by the way, I never mention anybody's wife unless I know the situation,
Wait,
okay?
so Cape's wife is a Steelers fan?
Big time.
Whoa.
Entire family.
Is she from Pittsburgh?
No, she's from Springfield.
Okay.
My wife and her wife actually played basketball together
You're
in high school.
kidding.
No lie.
Nice.
And I didn't realize this for a long time. I had gotten her family, his wife's family, tickets to a game without even knowing like who they were. And now here I am speaking to her husband on this show.
That's pretty
who's
cool.
a huge Titans fan, but her entire family
That's pretty cool.
is all black and gold. So Kayla's,
and yellow, black
he's
and
in
yellow.
a fight week in and week out, Kayla.
That's
Oh, my
that's
God.
I love the split household.
I love that too.
I'm all for it.
For real.
615-737-1045, our number. Lots of your phone calls this morning as we dive into the Titans injury report, the availability of lots of guys, Kayla, and we pretty much get confirmation yesterday that this defense, at the very least, looks to be healthy again.
Yeah.
The concerns are Amani Hooker and Christian Fulton, who raised some pretty big question marks for a big secondary that's got a really big test in Trevor Lawrence tomorrow.
Yeah, and when we talked to Vrabel yesterday after practice, clearly we didn't know if he was going to rule some guys out. He did, and that's one guy. Other than that, folks, he has not ruled anybody out yet. So questionable is still Amani Hooker and Christian Fulton. You just mentioned those two names, Will. And I feel like they could very well get Amani Hooker back. I have a good feeling about Amani. Christian Fulton, it's just one of those things that I don't know if he's going to be back. Like, he's been at practice.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked to him.
The groin.
He hasn't been out there in the locker room. Yeah. And so I can't really get a good read on if he's going to be back or not. But just even having Amani back, you guys, I think is big.
Yeah.
With, having just a little bit of the starting presence out there. But if they had Christian, I think that this could be a well-oiled defense on Saturday with just who you're getting back with Autry and Simmons up front.
And especially with Andrew Adams now out for the first time after his season-ending injury against the Cowboys, having Amani back to fill that gap is pivotal tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. And considering what they kind of have in the passing game, too, the Jags, like, they have a passing game. They got 3 weapons, potentially 4, that you have to account for. And that's the issue when it comes down to having those healthy bodies like Christian, like Armani, putting Roger McCreary in a better situation to be successful. Like, all of that matters. And, of course, rushing coverage works together, having your guys back. You talking about Danico, I laughed so much yesterday inside. We speaking about angry old man type that he is.
Yeah.
But it's necessary.
He's my favorite. He's becoming one of my favorite because he's so quiet.
Yeah.
But when he gets out there on the practice field, that guy has so much freaking energy, and you can just see it kind of just rubbing off on his teammates. So it'll be just good to have his presence back. And I think Mike Vrabel, when he talked about the defense specifically, you could just see, like, okay, a little sigh of relief. Like, we're getting some of these dudes back. They seem to be somewhat healthy.
Yeah. Love it.
This morning on the show, Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith joins us for his weekly Friday conversation with us at 8:20. And Jim Wyatt, who got a little gift from QB1 Josh Dobbs yesterday.
So funny.
Was it?
I cannot wait to talk to him about this.
It was great. Like, the locker room was so energetic yesterday. I can't even explain it. It was weird. Like, I almost felt like I was just part of the team, and I feel like the other media members felt like that too, because we're all just joking around. It was Kevin Byard who was presented with the Eddie George Good Guy Award from the National, let me see, I don't want to get this right, the Pro Football Writers of America voted for Kevin Byard, the first ever award for the Titans, doing this for this chapter. He got the award, and it's pretty much the guy who is always available, who is always great with the media. So we're just kind of setting the tone for the future players of this team, the young guys. Like, hey, nice little cool plaque, you get your name on it. It was a really cool moment. I think his teammates enjoyed seeing him get that as well. So there was a lot of energy, and then Dobbs just walks in, pulls out this Vols visor, and gives it to Jimmy Wyatt.
That's
and
Josh.
Everything was just, everybody was cracking up, pictures taken. It was great.
Yeah. I'll speak more on that too as we come back from break. That right there is some cool stuff. Just the locker room environment and pushing all chips to the middle of the table. Yeah, that's a good place to be.
Well, off the field, Titans fans are starting to see what Tennessee fans saw now 7 years ago and 8 years ago with Josh Dobbs when he initially took over the job at Tennessee. We dive into the performance he needs to have tomorrow in Jacksonville, the pressure on the quarterback to take that next step from Thursday's performance against the Dallas Cowboys. We'll do that. We'll take your phone calls at 615-737-1045 all morning long here on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 1045 The Zone.
And happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
Friday edition of Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Coming up later, Jonathan Schaefer will sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President to Ramon Foster.
Hey, I like
Where's
that,
Marilyn
man.
Monroe when we need her?
Man, bring her up,
Right?
okay? Or Auntie Yonsei, okay?
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling with you. Birthday Eve for Ramon Foster, but we
Birthday
celebrate
Eve.
all weekend long.
Y'all know what? Y'all make this really cool, man. Considering Christmas is just right around the corner, too.
I know.
The early January babies, man, don't get any love like that.
And here's
man.
the thing.
Yeah.
If you have a friend out there with a December or January birthday and you give them wrapping paper with Christmas trees or Santa Claus on them, then you deserve the absolute worst when it's your turn. You deserve no presents on your birthday.
None.
You
Will.
leave the Christmas wrapping paper for next year and you get some birthday wrapping paper.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Will.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
You tell
I
them
get it, though.
If stores can put out Valentine's candy, you
Yeah.
can go get a real happy birthday bag for somebody who has a birthday in
Exactly.
January.
That's
man.
right.
Yep.
All I'm saying.
615-737-1045. Michael in Clarksville up next this morning. Hello, Michael.
Morning, Michael.
Good morning, RKW. What's good? And the best producer in the world.
The best
baby.
producer in the world.
That's right.
Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. What are you, 50?
50. He
See,
laid down a 50 on you.
I was ready to compliment you, man. I was like, nobody says that RK Dub like you. And you know what? I'm taking it back. Everybody says it like you.
No. Can't nobody steal it, man. Hey, we going down into Duval City. I feel like we're going to go down there, return the favor, and just, I can't wait to see the look on their fans' faces down there when they lose, man. I think our boys are going to show up. You know, Josh Dobbs, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this young man goes down there and takes full advantage of it to turn some heads next year. We'd love to have Ryan Tannehill back, but at the end of the day, man, we're getting ready to turn that corner. You know what I'm saying? So might as well do what we got to do. I don't want no high draft pick. If y'all go draft another lineman from North Dakota, don't have time for that. And so just would love to see us bring the W home, man. But I do have a question for you, Rome. Since you played in the NFL, and we know the kid woke up, yesterday, and all that good stuff, what is the contingency plan for a situation like this, knowing that this guy may never play another down? Do you feel like the NFL is going to step up and take care of this kid? Or, the locker room talk with the boys?
Yeah.
Think I already got the care package together and he's set for life? Or, what do you think the contingency plan is? I know a lot of guys are going to be nervous this weekend. So it's like getting that first hit out the way. And it said, hey, I love you and I see you when I get back means a whole lot more than what it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Man, great question right there.
Appreciate the call, Michael.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you for that. Two things you said. Getting that first hit out of the way, that means a lot to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be warm up and you get a good pop, whether it be the first play of the game, I think most athletes, most competitors anyway, whether it's their first lap up and down the court, their first swing at a ball, strike or hit, first pitch, first hit in football, first skate in hockey, all of those things, you got to get them out of the way to settle the nerves, right?
Yep.
Whew, all right, now I'm in my mode. Mm-hmm. This one will mean a little bit more. Like I said, I remember when Shazier's situation had happened, to me, it was just like, butt somebody up and calm down again, like, oh, my back is fine. Because that was the first thing I thought about.
Sure.
Was like, not just my situation, but everybody. Like, Shazier, that wasn't a hard hit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It really was not. It was just a situation. I tried to just box it into what it was. Like, well, that was just for him. And as some people speculating, like, DeMar Hamlin's hit was a 1 in a million.
Even his teammates last night were talking about it. Josh Allen at the presser said that.
You try to put it in context of what it was, and not that it's a 1 of 1, but, man, from what I understand, y'all correct me if I'm wrong because I don't want to be right. This is what I heard. Like, that hit was the perfect speed, pace, in between heartbeats, impact that could have ever happened in the sport.
Yep.
And if that was true, you try to put that in a box and say, okay, that was that situation. And let me go play this game, get a play or two in and settle in. And then the other aspect of it, too, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills or the doctors wouldn't have DeMar say something to the crowd or, write something up to where it makes them okay. Like we spoke about that thumbs up idea, right? Mm-hmm. The thumbs up is for you to know that they know it's okay for you to be doing that. And you feel guilty by going back out there. You do, because it's like, man, this guy just really gave all he had. Literally all he had to play this game, and he's telling me it's okay. That is an aspect of it, so that's very important. The other part of it is, will he be taken care of? And I've seen some people write those, like do a video blog and stuff like that. Some guy was really going off, and it was a black guy that was going off, and he had some truths, and he had some half truths, and it was some false stuff in what he was saying. Mm-hmm. In a situation like this, it's too global for the NFL not to take care of him. There's absolutely no other way around the Shazier situation. They kept Shazier on roster, picking up his fifth-year option and keeping him on the insurance. And I know for sure Shazier ended up connecting with some people around Pittsburgh and around the nation to help himself, like externally business-wise, so that he is in a different mindset. If I'm not mistaken, Shazier was in a position where I think he had that Lloyd's of London insurance, too. I'm not sure. I heard he did in the time. But he should be able to get from the NFL total and permanent benefits. That's a monthly check for the rest of his life. I'd expect also a player like him who has as much fire and grit as he does to be on somebody's staff if he wants to.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, too, that he's going to have to deal with, too, because that's what initially Inky did. Inky was on Lane Kiffin's staff.
Oh, I didn't know Inky was on.
Yes,
okay.
He was on staff with Ed Ogeron and all those guys. Like, that's the reason he's so close to those guys. Like, Ed Ogeron and Lane, like, Inky was working with Amani Kiffin. But then it also comes to a point to where with DeMar and also Ink at the time, like, Ink transitioned out. He was like, man, I love the game, but I don't want to be boxed around the game, too. So whether it be DeMar wants to stay in the NFL or go to college, heck, he can end up being a motivational speaker, too. Who wouldn't want to hear that? In that sport, what parent would want to go to a seminar where DeMar Hamlin's at? You know what I'm saying? To hear how he feel about the game. He will and should get total and permanent disability for the rest of his life. And from my understanding, that's a high range of monthly payments that he will get to where he should be fine. I know the NFL has gotten a lot of flack from that.
Well, the positive update on him yesterday, one of the doctors, Timothy Pritz, spoke to the media and said DeMar Hamlin is still considered critically ill and that significant progress is needed, but his neurological condition appears to be intact. Is able to move his hands and feet, the doctor said. He's unable to speak, but was able to communicate in writing, and I think everybody knows the story by this point that he wrote and asked who won the game. And the doctors responded, the answer is yes, DeMar. You won the game of life. And said, when asking about the game, that was a sign to doctors that, quote, not only are the lights are on, but he's home.
Yeah.
Which they said was a very gratifying and very positive sign at this point. So really it appears that the major progress was made overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning, but there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made.
Yes, he is still listed as critically ill. Technically, yes, that is what they're still listing him as. But these are the things that they're doing and seeing with a breathing tube still,
in his throat.
His throat. Yeah. So they haven't upgraded that yet, but they're giving us signs that could be happening in the near future.
And I've talked to some people that understand what critically ill means. Well, one, he just had a heart attack. So you have to care slowly for that. And also the trauma that he's had from CPR.
Yes, breaking the ribs
and his lungs having to deal with fluid being around it too. One thing that happens, guys say they have swelling. Well, the body will send fluids around your injured parts to protect it. So that fluid has to drain over. I heard they flipped him on his stomach so that can drain out and stuff like that. So critical condition is actually a saving grace for him. Like they're giving his body a rest right now.
Yeah.
615-737-1045, our number this morning if you want to join us. We've got Angel in Clarksville up next with us today. Hello, Angel.
What's up, Angel?
Hey, good morning, y'all. First off, look, I just want to go ahead and say I'm glad that DeMar Hamlin's health has improved. That's a miracle, man. Because I watched that game, and my old lady, she don't, she's like a football fan vicariously through me kind of deal. You know what I mean? She's not really she's not going to sit there and watch a game by herself. But since I like it, she loves it,
Yeah.
And we were sitting there watching the game, and I remember when it went to the first commercial, I'm like, all right, they're going to get him off the field, waiting for the thumbs up or whatever you want to call it. Then they came back from the commercial. Then they went to a commercial a second time, and then when they came back, the ambulance and stuff was on the field, and that, like everybody said, I've been watching games. I'm 34 years old, been watching football my whole life. I have never seen an ambulance on the field at any level, high school, Pop Warner, whatever. So that's when my old lady, I told her, I'm like, hey, what's going on? This is different right here. And I'm just glad he good, man. He young, and that's just a miracle. So
Yeah.
shout out to him. Next, Mo, man, happy birthday, man.
Thank you,
Damn.
Angel.
Happy birthday, man. Yeah, put the horns on, all that. Look, I'm just praying. Look, the Titans, they kind of ruined Christmas. My old lady was mad at me. I'm out there. It was freezing, miserable. We lost to the Cowboys, whatever, but it was a good show. But it's just a couple things. All these damn Titans fans saying that they want a better draft pick and all that this season over, man. Y'all are terrible, man. You should never root against your team no matter what. Even if we was 0-16 at this point, you should still be wanting to play spoiler or something.
Yeah.
Now, the fans that are thinking along those lines, man, you got to forget. You forget one thing. First off, this Tennessee Titans, this is what we used to, all right? It's 53 grown men, and right now we have zero expectations, all right? But we have a lot of good stuff to look forward to. First off, KB, Kevin Byard, that man been on fire these last two games, and he was quiet there for a while. Josh Dobbs, it's making for something magical. Josh Dobbs, he ain't got really no expectations of him. Nobody. This is when we do our best. Titans are notorious for doing terrible when we have expectations. Jeffrey Simmons is due for a big one because he's been kind of. He's been kind of stagnant these last couple games, whether he be injured and all that. And 6 errors in a row, man. I hear the noise, man. Again, happy birthday. Hey, hopefully Monday when I call y'all, it's to celebrate a dub, man.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Tighten up.
Yes.
Thank you, Angel.
Angel wore it like a bet with a badge of honor,
I
man.
mean, we love you.
That was
but
great.
Jack Bauer, that guy does what he wants.
It comes on so sudden too. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, the time has started. I wanted to really touch on DeMar Hamlin and his comments about DeMar real quick because I rewatched the press conference from yesterday with the Bills. I wasn't home. Folks, take care of your teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. The dentist is never fun.
What?
So, anyways, I'm going past that point. But I rewatched the press
expect that.
conference. And I just thought it was so incredible, like listening to Sean McDermott talk and Josh Allen and just the passion and the true emotion. But the two things that stood out to me, there was never a day that we didn't see DeMar Hamlin in a good mood. That was from Josh Allen. He was always in a jovial mood. He always brought good energy into the locker room. There was not one time I saw a scowl on his face or an angry DeMar. And then just amazing that DeMar's family, his dad said, you are playing the game.
Yeah.
You're going to play this game because that's what DeMar would want and wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that's
to
tough
have
right
that
there.
clarification, though, and to have that, sigh of relief, like, okay, this is what he wants.
Yep.
I can't imagine in a locker room.
And that's the other aspect of it too, is like that team actually resetting. Like it's easy now for them to lose and be like, man, we had something traumatic happen. And there's a portion of the locker room that may feel that way. So having his family kind of tell them, look, go. No, this is all right. Like I said, with Shazier, his situation was the exact same. Like, no, go do this. Inkies, like it's crazy I've seen this go through this many times in my career. Like guys are going to tell you, go do that. It's all right, man. I'm good. Y'all good. Go do it. I got my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do we need to see from Josh Dobbs tomorrow in order for the Titans to get a win? What would make this a successful second start for Josh Dobbs for the Tennessee Titans?
Against that defense, Jags, taking care of the ball first. In a very intense stadium, night game, that crowd's going to be wild. Take care of the ball first and foremost. If he does that, everything else take care of itself. If they stay on schedule, Kayla listeners, they have the best shot, I feel like. Jacksonville wasn't able to stop Derek. Derek got stopped because the turnovers in the passing game had to change up the game plan. Take care of the ball. Don't go seeing ghosts. And when you have the opportunity to use your legs, Josh, use them. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Josh's 40 speed is, but that joker just got a way of finding his way down the field. The little spin move that he has. Kayla, I don't know how he does it. I don't. I've watched it in college. I've seen it in Pittsburgh in practice. I'm like, how fast are you? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, he looks, I'll just say this, the first time seeing him in person last Thursday, he looked super athletic to me. Mm-hmm. When he was, rolling out, and I mean, he might not be super fast, but maybe a little deceiving because he looks like the athlete out there from what I saw. I know that was a small sample size, but it kind of just gave me a relieved feeling of, okay, you see somebody out there that's more of a veteran, even though he hasn't made one start, but you have that presence that you see.
My first interaction playing, I've blocked for Dobbs, which is a badge of honor for me, okay? Yeah. It was really cool, okay, in a game. And I think this more people know about Josh and he's never had the opportunity. We were in Baltimore in a road game, and Ben went out for a play or two. He had to come out. Dobbs come in. It was a long third down situation for us. We were on the left hash. Dobbs comes in and gives us a passing play. Most times the backup quarterback comes in, get out of the down, y'all, let's be safe. He comes and get a passing play. I look at him, and I am nervous. Yep. We're backed up in the end zone, actually. Dobbs gets the ball and throws maybe like a 16-yard out on the corner for a first down. And I look at him like, oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really threw it and completed it. He has the ability. It's about the opportunity and not minimizing it also. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big opportunity.
And he's got to be excited, too.
It has to be.
I mean, I know naturally he's got to be deep down inside just like, wow, this is a cool opportunity, right?
Yeah.
615-737-1045. We'll start with Eric in Nashville coming up next as we continue to preview Titans and Jags. What do you need to see from Josh Dobbs tomorrow in order for the Titans to get a win? 615-737-1045 on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. 1045 The Zone. Hey, it's Will Bowling here for my friends at Lee Company. Whether it's ice or a winter storm, the last thing any of us want is to lose power in our homes. Have you considered what would happen if your home had no power right now? Well, this is where a home generator could make a huge difference. When your power goes out, a generator will keep your heat running, lights on, and appliances working. And with a generator, you can keep your phones and computers charged and never miss a beat. Visit LeeCompany.com or call them at 615-567-1000. And trust the folks who have been trusted for nearly 80 years in this community. They're open 24/7 and ready to help you at a moment's notice. 615-567-1000 is the phone number. Online at LeeCompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. It's Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. You know, Beyonce actually sent this in a voice memo for Ramon
me.
Foster this morning.
Auntie Beyonce sent it to me. That was for me. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Okay.
I really appreciate that.
Hitting that high note at the end.
Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling with you. Ramon Foster, birthday eve. So
Birthday Eve.
Auntie
baby.
Beyonce had to check in.
Auntie
Yeah.
Beyonce.
That's
right.
We go to the phones. Eric in Nashville up next this morning, where you can join us. Good morning, Eric.
Morning, Eric.
Hey, happy Friday, guys, and happy birthday, Ramon.
Thank you.
Yeah. I won't ask you your age because I know I'm older than you are, so I'm not going to ask your age.
Oh, good, man.
Hey, listen, guys. I'm going to tell you what. Cable, I appreciate you for getting the ball rolling. I'm with you 1,000,000%. Get that negativity of losing out of here. Not only is it the playoffs, guys and coaches are fighting for their jobs and their lives, whether or not they're going to be gone next year or whether they're going to be back here next year. So get that mess out of here. And I am telling you guys, Jacksonville would love to beat us due to the fact that we've created so much misery for them over the years, guys. Remember the year we went to Super Bowl? They only had 3 losses. Who were the 3 losses against? Us. So they definitely want the NIC, so they're going to be motivated to win this game tomorrow, guys. I'm telling you what, and as a previous caller said, I don't want to be 0-16 and then lose to go to 0-17. I don't want to be in the history books for that. I would rather have the one win to avoid that embarrassment in history, guys. So let's go, guys. Tighten up. Bring home a victory tomorrow, guys. And I'm telling you what, post-game, I'm calling the post-game show tomorrow, Will, so we'll talk to you again soon. Y'all take care.
All right.
There you go.
Look forward to it. Thank
Yes,
you, Eric.
sir.
Appreciate the call.
We got some fans that are ready.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a rowdy Saturday.
This right here is almost like number 1 seed fandom going on right now with what we have.
I
going
like the energy, though.
I do
You can
too.
shift the energy, and it's shifting in a good direction. Just
Ooh-wee.
bring it.
Kenny the mailman up next this morning, 615-737-1045. Good morning, Kenny.
What's up, Kenny?
Greetings to y'all. How y'all doing?
Great.
Good.
Wow.
You know, sometimes topics can be boring, but when you're an adult, you have to talk about it and think about it. 100% catastrophic insurance ought to be guaranteed to every NFL player, and I mean not as part of their check taken out. That's 100% from the owners, and I don't even use the word benefit. I just use it as a staple. You have to have it for what you ask players to go through. That should just be on their mind. And to take it one step farther, with all the NIL money flowing and the slides into the dressing room and marble floors, that ought to be guaranteed to every college player that steps on the football field, because you'd be stunned. I know it's been 10 years and maybe they've revised some, but do y'all remember the Rutgers player that was partially paralyzed
Yes,
about
sir.
10 years
Yes.
ago? Rutgers whined about the cost of his medical care, and 2 of the local TV stations had to have a telethon, and they raised a bunch of money for the player. But that
Eric
is
LeGrand.
embarrassing.
Yep.
To go with your hat in hand and say, give us money for this player. Fortunately, Rutgers saw how bad it looked, and they
Yep.
stepped in afterwards and picked up a lot of the bills. But they wouldn't have done that if they hadn't have been embarrassed at first. So with all this money flowing, it's time to do the right thing and protect every player that steps on the field for that. And by the way, our buddy Eric that calls and loves the Titans, at the Cowboys fan, you'll have to get on to him. At the Cowboys game, he snuck in dressed in as Cowboy Ray. And I saw him jumping up and down for the Cowboys. So next time he calls, ask him to raise his hand and testify his love for the Titans, okay?
Yeah.
I go way back with my buddy Eric.
Look at Kenny
Fans
dropping.
holding fans accountable.
Kenny
you, Kenny.
delivered
Appreciate the
mail
call.
early in the morning.
Delivering receipts.
Man.
I love it.
Ooh, I knew we were going to be hype on a Friday, but I didn't think it was going to be like this, Will.
All right, well, I guess we've accepted a collect call because Kmart Mike in Cleveland
Wait, what?
is here. I don't know. Maybe it's a new name change, but Mike, are we in a good position right now? Are we okay after the situation that was beginning to transpire yesterday?
Yeah. It's all good. I got that spot. You know, he tried to run up on me. He tried to play me like everybody else tried to play me, because you know I'm on the other side of the field now, and now people want to embrace the underdog. Mon, you know what I'm talking about. Jake, you know what I'm talking about. Now y'all want to embrace the underdog. Now y'all ready to be like, oh, this is what Titans do. Oh, this is, man. All right, let me clarify. I ain't saying go out there and tank. I'm not saying that. And first off, I've been a Titans fan, always going to be a Titans fan. I'm always going to rip Tennessee no matter where I'm at. If I'm in trailer park, projects, or suburbs, everybody know it's 615 with me, baby, all the time.
Yeah.
So let me get that on out the way. I'm not saying tank. I'm not saying go out there and be some suckers and go tank. What I am saying, as a long-time Titans fan, I'm not invested right now. I'm not invested because of that offense, okay? This is the same offense, the same mindset, and the same run, pass, punt, run, pass, punt, the same offense. And I don't. More power to your boy. Yes, he's a VFL. Josh Dobbs, I'm glad he getting some game field out there. You know, that's what's up. But that's still more of the same. Josh Dobbs will get out there and have a magnificent game, and Titans fans is going, Josh Dobbs is the future. Josh Dobbs is the future. Oh, we need to keep Josh Dobbs. Pay him. Yo, I'm not jumping on y'all's bandwagon. It needs to be updated. That's all I'm saying, baby. We updating that field, right? We updating that Coliseum, that arena, whatever, right?
Stadium,
it's time
yeah.
to update that offense. I'm not on that bandwagon. I'm not invested. If they win, congratulations. If not, it's still time to update that mindset. That's all I'm saying, baby. Deuces.
Kmart Mike.
Hey.
Thank you for the call.
Fresh out of
a parking spot.
What'd you just say?
That he didn't want to give up.
Yes. Well, we were going to go deeper than that.
Listen.
Phantom so
Straight
big
out of
can't
the
even
cell.
fit in the parking
Can't even
spot.
fit in the parking spot, Will. Hey, we got a Titans. Can I announce it?
Yeah.
We have, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on air,
Oh, boy.
a Tennessee Titans fans civil war. That's where we are right now.
This is where we're at.
There is a tug of war going on right now.
You sounded like you're about to announce a marriage.
Nah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Vance.
Bob Vance. The office drops get me. You ever seen this?
This is pretty interesting. I'll just put it at that.
Man, meanwhile, Albrix is in the friggin' chat.
Albrix, our Jags fan.
Our Jacksonville fan.
Which we appreciate, Albrix, you tuning in.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. What is go break it down again. Who's Albrix again, Kayla?
He is a Jags fan. He is in Jacksonville, Duval County, down there, and he's ready. He says that area is hyped.
I forgot to. This is a night game.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Swimming pool's going to be full.
The energy level on Saturday.
That chlorine better be up in that
It better
stuff.
be up, and they're going to have a party in Duval. And those pools in the stadium, oh, my gosh.
Are they heated?
Look,
does
Jags fans are best at night, so you don't have to see their ugly ass.
Or the mustard jerseys, typically.
Yeah, Capers, you just missed Mike. He took shots. He ain't really take no shots. He just said where he stood at.
Yeah, he's voicing his opinion.
This game is in honor of all those Thursday night Titans-Jags games, and that didn't matter. Now, Saturday night, it does matter.
Yeah, those how many games have we seen between those
all
two?
Of them.
And they're Thursday, and we're just like, okay, another Thursday night game between the Titans and the Jags.
Which, by the way, Adam Schefter last night tweeted, and thus ends the final Thursday night football of the year, ... I was this close to retweeting it and said, oh, well, Indianapolis scored as many points as they typically do tonight on Thursday night football.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Anyway.
We'll find a way to, crap on some team in the AFC South.
For sure. No, but this Saturday, and look, it's the Monday Night Football crew. It's the top tier team.
Prime time.
Lisa Salters was in town this week talking with some of the players and coach.
She's so cool, too, by the way.
It was awesome to see her, especially just a few days after the coverage of DeMar, right? And I just let her know, you did a great job. She came and sat next to me during the press conference. I said, just want to let you know.
That's awesome, man.
Pleasantly surprised that Buck and Aikman are doing this game. and not the
Yeah,
one
I was a
before
little
it.
surprised too.
Yeah. 615-737-1045. We reset the injury report headlines. Take a look at the Jags injury report as well. Coming up next on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 1045 The Zone.
$6:59. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. 5 players listed as questionable for Saturday's AFC South title tilt at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those players are Traylon Burks, Dylan Cole, Christian Fulton, Amani Hooker, and Nicholas Petit-Frere. Meanwhile, Terrell Basham, Danico Autry, Derrick Henry, Jeffrey Simmons, and Josh Thompson did not have injury designations yesterday. They are expected to play. Only Devontae Harris has been ruled out. According to doctors, Damar Hamlin is beginning to awaken as he shows substantial improvement in his recovery. Hamlin is still considered critically ill, but it does appear that his neurological condition is intact. The Week 17 game between the Bengals and Bills has been canceled and will not continue, the league announced yesterday. Tennessee promotes quarterbacks coach Joey Halsley to offensive coordinator, the new OC for the Vols, to the NHL. Predators defeated the Hurricanes 5-3. UC Saros, who was named an All-Star for the second straight season, made 64 saves last night, the third most saves in a single game in league history. Nashville's won 3 of its last 4. For foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of the show, off and running. On Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. We had sugar before 7 a.m.
Yeah, you all right over there? In the break, I mean, his seat was going, and he was bouncing up and down. Like, he almost hit the top of the ceiling here.
It's Friday, and it's almost game day, and we've never acted like it more.
Is that cookie cake at least half gone by now?
Yeah, no, it's close. We'll
all right,
keep getting
let's
up,
get that
coming
going.
over
A
here.
little piece.
But you've been over here numerous times already.
Well, I've been
And he
over there
couldn't
3
get it
times.
once in a break because it was so quick. He goes, "Oh, dang it, I didn't have enough time
I'm not
to
gonna
get
eat
his
on it.
slice."
So in the break, we've had Will singing Meek Mill's "Dreams and Nightmares."
That's what he was singing.
We both went at, and then of course I love to go. You ready, Will? You ready? You ready? Let's do it. Why you gotta fight with me at cheesecake?
You know,
I love to go there and say I'm making light skin. Come on,
I can't take you, no.
There's a place for families that drive Camrys.
Go to Disney.
They don't need to know all of our
You wilded.
business.
You super chat. All right, I'm done.
They're trying to get their careers started on here on the rap side of things.
We can karaoke
I'm
that,
not-
Will.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm-
guys karaoke that. I'll be out in the background rooting you on.
And what's crazy, you're acting like the adult in this situation. The name of
am.
that song is Child's Play.
Yeah, child's play.
Yeah. Very fitting.
I love it. Every time I go to cheesecake.
Your girlfriend had been to any season opening basketball game. Yeah. All right,
She's
anyway.
talking to somebody on the basketball team.
Anyway.
That's a truth serum for you
Anyway.
right there. Never mind.
615-737-1045 this morning as we try to be adults again. Celebrating Ramon Foster's birthday today.
Hey, Mom,
Yeah.
I didn't let you know, but I got you something for your birthday.
See, you know how I get about
Nice.
this.
And
Wait.
Moan, are you ready for your birthday
Oh,
gift?
no.
I gotta be.
Are
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah, let's roll.
No, I mean, are you ready?
I don't know
Oh,
if I'm
no.
ready now.
Oh!
Yeah. Might put my hat on now. Woo. What a year. That was a birthday present in itself.
Yeah.
That season we just had, man, that's a gift.
About the whole
Yep.
state of Alabama.
Man, went to a bowl game this year. This is by far my most eventful college football season I've ever had in my entire life.
Is it really?
You started to learn how to
is.
tailgate this year.
I
That's
did.
good.
What happened? What'd you hear earlier on the show before us?
So I'm learning, Kayla, that professional athletes do not tailgate.
yeah.
And then they get done
Yeah.
playing and they are like, wait, how do y'all do this?
Yeah,
And they
that's a
literally
thing.
learn how to tailgate.
Tailgate, yeah.
Ramon has been learning how to tailgate this year. We've had
Yeah.
tailgate school. And on Two Bros and a Cup of Joe before us on Fox Sports Radio, they were saying the exact same thing.
Were
I
they
think it was
really? So
LeVar
they had
Arrington.
that discussion.
LeVar Arrington was like, I didn't know how hard y'all tailgated.
Yeah.
I looked at Ramon and I was like, wow.
And that conversation stemming from the fact that, they're telling them they can't tailgate at SoFi Stadium
They
for the
can't?
Natty.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, wow. By the way, speaking of tailgating, also, I had plans on showing up to the VFL's tailgates in Miami. Here I was thinking, oh, man, we'll leave about 4 o'clock. Too late. I didn't even make it. At 4 o'clock, we couldn't get into the parking lot early enough because it was so congested at that time. We probably should have left at 2 to get inside to actually. So I missed the tailgate. I was looking for Will and didn't even realize it.
Jonathan Schaefer is giving us a behind-the-scenes look at answering the phone on in the control room as well.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I don't know if Schaefer wants his mic to be on. But
I don't even realize he thinks his mic is hot back there. You know what?
So I heard.
I didn't know. Sorry.
I heard that Dolphins games. Now, you were talking about the Vols tailgating, but I did hear Dolphins games in terms of tailgating can get a little bit crazy.
Crazy?
Oh yeah, like fights and.
Oh wow!
There was rumors of like. Just a lot of stuff that I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I can kind of believe it, but I don't know.
It's hot out there when they tailgating, Kayla. You mix that with a couple of spirits. Ooh, from Maryland.
Like, how are the Titans tailgates? Because I'm always working. I'm always inside the stadium.
Man, Ali's invited me numerous times, and I've yet to actually go to one. I feel bad because I know I have like a legit spot to tailgate at, and I've yet to pull the trigger on it because I usually have something going on.
I'd like to know what they're like. I know what the Bills tailgates are like.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's a whole nother world.
615-737-1045. DeJesus checking in with us this morning, wishing Ramon a happy birthday. Good morning, DeJesus.
What's up, DeJesus?
What's up, man? Haven't called you guys in a while. How y'all doing?
We're good. I was thinking the same thing. Like, where you been at, man? I know where you been at, but man.
Working hard. I barely got time to call. But, hey, man, Mike came in hot.
Yeah, he did.
He came in strapped like he was Rambo or something. But, yeah, man, so I just wanted to call it, wish you a happy birthday. Titans going to win. They're going to actually get over 27 points. They might score 31. Check it. Put that on the Richter scale. That's going to shake the earth. And, Moan, for your birthday, I'm going to leave you with a joke, a dessert joke. What's a monster's favorite dessert? Tiramisu.
A tiramisu. I like that one, Mike.
See you guys. Please.
I like
That's
that.
good.
Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir. I like that.
Do you like
tiramisu? Do I like tiramisu?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever had it, but I know what it is.
I had some the other night. It was good.
You did? Yeah. Nice. That was a dad joke for us, Jesus.
Camp
Thank you. By the way, too, Ron Slate had.
Yes,
go ahead.
the ultimate tailgate. Yes.
I missed that all
that you
year
have
long.
not been to. I feel like you need to go there next year.
Yeah, I might want to host it with him. Is where I'm at if available.
That'd
what do
be
you mean?
fun.
What do you mean next year? The Titans win. He can go the following week.
There you go. Boom. Look at the attitude. I said to carry the positive energy.
That's the mode right there.
Shafe is doing it. Oh, by the way, thanks, chat. They have pole dancers, yes, at the tailgates.
They do?
Yes, there were burning cars this year.
In Miami?
That's what we've heard.
I mean, it is South Florida, y'all.
Lord.
Just type in Florida man on your Google and see what pops up.
That's still you're about as far
don't
from
do that on work Wi-Fi.
Oh, no. I had to tell Sleazy that earlier. I was like, Sleazy, what you in here doing, man? Our folks down in 92Q. He was chilling.
I mean, that stadium is so far from Miami, though. You might as well be in, like, Clarksville. You're still that far away from the ocean.
It is far, huh?
It's a long way.
Yeah.
It was cool to see the F1 track in the parking lot there.
I missed it
Yeah,
all.
that was
Really,
sweet.
really cool.
That was cool.
It's like literally right. You're like walking up the ramp.
Yeah.
We saw 2 Clemson fans try to fight Tennessee fans out of the way, like getting out of the stadium too.
Oh, yeah.
They're
were
angry,
like they
y'all?
were
They were ticked leaving.
Yeah.
they were all in.
I missed
in
it.
a new
but
way.
Keisha was like, did you see them just speed off like that with those Tennessee fans in front? I was like, nah, I missed it. But they were very agitated.
Look, they know what's going on. And I don't think that they feel exactly safe with the situation in terms of the program where it's.
By the way, it was a Tennessee fan that trolled Dabo. Sent them
really?
burgers. Yeah, from
sent
Omaha
him,
Steaks, though.
Sent him Omaha
No,
Steaks
he
burgers
didn't.
to the front door of the athletic.
And
That's incredible.
It was received, too. Somebody got them.
Man, stuff like that is what makes college football great. And
Yeah.
I'll say that
it
even to the
is.
South Carolina fan that hired a plane to fly a banner over the bowl game that says, enjoy your bowl game - Gamecocks.
That was fun.
That's
That was fun.
fantastic.
That's
I love it.
really, yeah.
You
It's
know
really
what?
good.
Talk your talk. It's college football. It's supposed to be fun.
I
like it.
I have no other reason to hate South Carolina. It's never really been any competition for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they've made the list.
Maybe not for
Oh.
long if
On
Yeah.
watch, huh?
Yeah, they on cock watch.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
well, Jim Harbaugh goes to the NFL. Shane
Who?
Beamer's already been mentioned as a name
No.
at Michigan.
Get out of here.
That's I hope he doesn't do that. I'm sorry.
We'll see. 615-737-1045 this morning.
Oh, I'm sure James Franklin will be linked to it in some way.
Oh, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
For sure.
No doubt.
Groundhog Day. We go next to Jason in Murfreesboro this morning, talking Titans. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Will and Kayla and Ramon.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Happy
sir.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to the orange and white Tennessee Volunteers.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go.
Thank you.
I want to say two things. I got Joshua Dobbs. You know, he got his feet wet with his first career start. Yeah, he might have been in the league for 6 years, but you know, being in the league for 6 years and actually getting your first career start is a different story. So I feel like with him getting his feet wet, you know, this next game he's really going to be able to, you know, step his game up a little better. And then also I got to add with the NIL deals with the college sports. With the kids making money nowadays, why don't they bring back the NCAA on the game consoles? Man, I'm ready to see that again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's coming soon.
Yeah, they delayed it
Coming
this
soon.
year, didn't they?
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going
Next
to be
year?
this year, and now it'll be next summer of 24.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
that's
on
right.
its way.
I literally, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my friends, and I was like, I'm so excited because this year we get a new NCAA football game. And literally the next day is when they made the announcement. Said, it'll be 24 now.
Did they say why? Just not.
I just think it takes longer to build a game from the ground up and create all of that stuff again, because so many of those games just build on each other. And I'm still kind of I've always been just a sports game, Xbox guy. I still am.
Sure.
Nerd. Yeah, we knew I was a nerd. I don't know. This isn't breaking news to anybody. But no, I will. You all will know when that game comes out, because my productivity will go down quickly.
Okay,
Thanks, Kyler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
kidding.
thinking,
Baby
honestly,
Yoda part 2 over here.
the delay
That's
could
right.
possibly be the licensing for players getting a check. Like we,
Do you
as
think
players, get Madden checks is what we call them.
Okay.
Merchandise stuff. So it's probably trying to figure out the split,
That.
because if they're going to be using names, then they're using your name, image, and likeness.
Yep.
They needed to be paying y'all less and making the game better to use that money, because Madden is terrible.
Oh my goodness.
Madden is not a good video game.
You know
Well,
what?
you didn't need that check. I needed that check reinvested into a bad video game.
You have indirectly benefited from that Madden money when Ramon has bought stuff for us.
That's fair.
This is full circle.
You better
Joe
zip
Honk and his little
up
baby
over
Titans
there.
also need more money because he can't win a game.
The more,
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
The more you buy, the heavier it got, Will. So, yeah.
Every time I tune in on
Jeez
104.5 The
Louise.
Zone on Twitch and Joe is playing somebody, he's yelling about some kind of fumble that shouldn't have been a fumble, or he's just thrown an interception.
Yeah, I tuned in.
Look,
to it one
it's
day.
all Jerome Boger's fault in the game, man.
Do they really put the refs'
I was
names
just
on
going
there,
to say,
too?
is Boger on there?
They
No,
probably
that's what
do.
made it funny.
Because there's a lot of broken screens if that's the case.
Yeah, no, for real. I hadn't played Madden in a while. I probably need to pick up the stick. Nah, I ain't got time.
So-
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I know.
The funniest thing was when my brother and sister were in college. And I think my sister Claire's listening and just texted me this, and she's 100% right. Yeah, that's right. My sister would run 2 plays on NCAA football: fake punt and blitz. Like she'd line up for a 2nd and 10.
funny.
Fake punt. Here we go.
That's great.
My brother's like, Claire, you've run this 5 times in a row. I'm like, nope.
Let her have her
Don't care.
moment.
It's fantastic.
You know what play I would run when I played the Steelers on Madden?
What?
Run right.
Run right.
Run right.
Hey,
That's
hey,
funny.
that
Hold
guy.
Hold up.
He's,
I played on the left side.
yeah, exactly.
Played the right side, too. I played both.
Weak side.
You know what? I don't even like the show no more.
Sit-
Should have ran
wow,
left.
okay.
Should have ran left.
Don't put me into that category.
With Shafe.
You played more on the right.
You got a
I'm
bucket
not
over
in
there,
that
Kayla?
category.
You
You
got a
played more on the right
I've
than you did
always
on the
got it.
left.
I got more things in this person you want to know.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Look,
On
I'm
that
not the
note-
one that let Ben get his nose broken,
I'm
all
not
right?
worried. Now, you know what? He never brought it up. That was the beautiful
Because he
thing
couldn't
about it.
breathe after that.
Well, I mean, he told me the process of doing
He
surgery.
never brought it up, he says.
He did. He never did. That's the one thing I appreciated about that situation. Like, he never brought it up.
615-737-1045 is the number. Coming up next, the Titans injury report and a question for you guys and for the audience in one of the players who is questionable for tomorrow's game. Can the Titans go to Jacksonville and win without Traylon Burks in the offense? Because Traylon Burks yesterday, we'll tell you what Mike Vrabel had to say about his status, but there's a chance that you don't have a full-strength Traylon in the offense for Josh Dobbs this time around. Can the Titans get a win without him? We'll discuss next on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 104.5 The Zone.
You don't have to go through yet another year with that knee pain or back pain. People with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Ramon Foster, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. Their unique protocols use healing agents from your own body to target aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue. So you can move again with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Got shoulder pain, excruciating hip pain, Ron Slay? If you have any arthritis pain, the lingering pain from an injury, don't let them operate on you or give you more steroids, and say no to the pain pills. Call QC Kinetics and see if their life-changing, all-natural treatments can get you living your best life in the new year. I'm telling you, people are raving about these treatments. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as next week. Make 2023 this year the year you say goodbye to joint pain. QC Kinetics in Nashville, Clarksville, and Murfreesboro. And you can call them right now, 615-249-4024. Again, the number is 615-249-4024.
This is how Ramon Foster will wake up tomorrow as he celebrates his 25th. Here at Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling. 615-737-1045, our number if you would like to jump in. Talking Titans and Jags.
Yay.
Mike Vrabel saying he hopes to get Traylon Burks out there tomorrow. Held him out of practice yesterday, a non-participant with a new groin injury that's just popped up. The question we ask you is, can the Titans win without Traylon Burks being a major contributor tomorrow in Jacksonville?
The answer is, yeah, you can always win without him being a contributor, but the answer we need is no, you can't. You know, like, that's the reality of it. It's all hands on deck this week. Like, we spoke about the SEC, right? And as far as, like, home crowds and what it means as far as, like, having everything in front of you and everything being against you if you're the opposing team, you can't afford to not have all your bodies out there, right, Kayla?
No, absolutely. And look, Mike Vrabel sounded somewhat promising if you can kind of learn from how his tone is after all these years. We've kind of dissected him and how he says things. But yeah, he was pretty much like, when asked about Traylon Burks being available, he said, we held him out today in terms of practice, but hoping to get him back on Saturday. So it sounds like it's promising, although he's listed as questionable. But I think, yeah, you can always win without him. But let's be truthful about this. When Traylon Burks is on the field, he makes life easier for a lot of the other guys around him too, because he can take attention away.
Yeah.
And you know, that opens the door for some of these other guys as well, because he is a threat. He is the biggest threat when you talk about a receiver out there this year.
No
and
doubt.
he showed he can make some big time plays as well that you might need in this game.
And that's the thing about it. So it's not like Traylon doesn't want to be out there either. This isn't one of those, hey, he ready to pack it up to end the season. He wants to. It's just that growing is something that's very iffy when it comes to small skill guys like wide receivers.
Right.
Is there a game plan that can be formulated around him? Heavy tight end play, Dobson moving the ball with his legs, you know, Derek being 100% healthy with the rest week.
That helps.
That helps, all of that. But, boy, can you imagine if they don't have the opportunity to stack the box because Traylon is that threat? That's the biggest point of it all to me.
I think so, too.
Whenever you have Derrick Henry against Jacksonville, you always have a chance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The way that he's played against this franchise and played in his hometown, you talk about Jacksonville not sweeping the Titans since 2005, you've always got a shot.
Yeah.
When 22 is healthy and ready to go against the Jaguars, and he is for this game.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yep.
Mentally, too, I was on 3HL yesterday. Shout out to our teammates, all of them, man. But
right.
I brought up the conversation that you don't want Trevor Lawrence getting a one-up on you. You know? Like, you don't.
You don't want to give them any type of added momentum headed into the offseason.
Kayla, legit, you see how much – I think you got to visit what Irsay was saying. But put it in Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Like, Irsay wants to crap on every team in the AFC South. That's got to be what Jacksonville feels like if they have the opportunity to sweep you. Like, the mental like lock you can have on players sometimes, because, look, we're going to always split games. That makes it okay for them to lose sometimes. Like, watching Trevor and how his growth in this league is going to be, if he sweeps you this year, you really are up against the wall when it comes down to developing this team, stacking up talent, and being in a position to really say that was just a one-year type of thing. That's where I sit with it.
I can't get over that word sweep. Jags sweeping the Titans this season. Like, it just seems just not realistic.
No.
And I'm sure that's going through their mind too. Like, swept by the Jags? We don't want that to happen and end our season.
In the division, too, it means more.
Oof.
It simply does. It really does mean more whenever you can dominate your division, because all things point to the playoffs through that.
They were.
Yeah, this going to be fun. It's a fun weekend.
Now we're to the last game of the regular season. Crazy.
And everything at this point is weighted so much more significantly for setting you up for success in future seasons. And the Cincinnati Bengals are the number one example of that right now, because they're a couple of plays away against the Las Vegas Raiders last year from not even being in the AFC Divisional round in Nashville to beat the Titans.
That's so true.
They were that close. And you think about what they did and the wins they were able to string together this time of year created the space for them to be one of the top teams of the AFC. And really, I think a lot of people are saying they are the team in the NFL right now that's playing as well as anybody else.
Yeah.
That happened because they set themselves up for success in January of last year. So, no, I'm not saying that the Jacksonville Jaguars next year would go on a Bengals-like run, but you're creating the atmosphere for them to take that next step when you have a changing of the guard moment in front of a sold-out crowd in prime time to win their first division in 6 years.
Yeah.
You're giving them the space to create something special in 2023.
Yep. And not to just pile on with this, and I know we got callers on the line too, Will, but this is where it's at for me. And I've just been saying mentally you can't allow this to happen, okay?
Well,
And I haven't given an explanation for it, though, okay? So let me explain this. If Jacksonville sweep the Titans this year, it doesn't mean everything is over and done and everything, as far as next year goes. But you give a guy like Trevor Lawrence and a young running back and his offensive line and getting Cam Robinson back next year and the defensive side of the ball with Trayvon Walker, who has a better opportunity to get better as a second-year player next year, the opportunity to say we can play with anybody. I think bad teams stay bad either because they have the coaches that not in place to be able to not coach them up well enough, and we know Doug Peterson's a really good coach, or you have players that don't know how to fight through situations as far as tight wins, close games, last-minute drives. Trevor Lawrence and this squad so far have won 5 of the last 6. They show they have what it takes to compete in this league, in this division. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Ravens. They beat really good teams. And if I'm a Tennessee Titan as a player, if I'm Kevin Byard, I'm saying to myself, fellas, we got a stronghold on this AFC South. We got to control everything moving forward because they are coming, and we'll allow them right now to get a glimmer of hope moving forward. It's going to be a hard time. Now let's move forward again, too, with the GM situation. They got to go figure out what's this team moving forward. If you lose this 7 straight and a division, you find yourself in a position to say it's okay to have a rebuild. Well, how long is that going to take? And how sure are you on that you're going to get on the right track when it comes down to picking the right players, having the patience to build up this team again, having the patience to fight through. Look, Jeff's got to get paid. The cuts that have to happen. Finding a new quarterback. There's a huge line of things that has to be done if you drop this division. Now, again, it's not on the player's mindset. Just as a former player, when we had young quarterbacks coming in, Joe Burrow, why do you think the first game of the year, Steelers versus Bengals, was so big? They beat Joe on his own turf. Now, yes, they beat him in Pittsburgh, but Joe Burrow's mindset is every time I see Pittsburgh, it's going to be a fist fight. And that's the way you got to treat Trevor Lawrence in this situation moving forward. You're not going to get us because you're that quarterback. You're going to have to fight us every single weekend.
Well, and Andrew Luck did that. And 11 straight wins against the Titans with Andrew Luck as the quarterback. So Kevin Byard got a little taste of that. He's one of the few players on this recent team that has had a taste of that. That is nothing you want to go back to having a quarterback in your division, a team in your division dominating you like that. And with him having a little taste of it too, I can only imagine like that self-motivation, sharing that with the team as well.
Yeah, and you don't want that. You don't want that.
615-737-1045, our number this morning if you want to join the conversation. We go to Joey in Cross Plains up next this morning. Hey, Joey.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Happy birthday, Ramon.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, to Kayla's point, about how Andrew Luck was with us. Here's my counterpoint to that: is most of these players on this Titans team has been there, and they have implanted themselves in Jackson or the Jaguars fans' heads, and in that Jaguars team. We own them down there. That is our second home. That's the home away from home, and we're going to go down there. And we're going to storm the gates as usual. 22 is going to get to rolling as normal, and everybody's going to do their jobs. It's going to be one great game, and Tennessee's going to come out with a big dub. Tighten up! Gas pedal!
Ooh. Joey cutting the promo.
Gas pedal.
My man, Cheese, man.
Look at that.
Cutting the promo. I love it.
I'm telling you, fans are juiced.
Yeah, they should be.
I would be, and I'm not even a fan. I cover the team, but I'm kind of juiced.
Me too. This is. It don't get any bigger than this one. Like, who would have thought we'd be in this position? They flexed this game to a late game, did they not? Okay.
Flexing up in here.
I know.
Flexing up in Duval County.
Scooby up next this morning at 615-737-1045. Hello, Scooby.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Great.
Hey, Scoob.
Hey, good morning. Happy birthday, Moan.
Thank
Tomorrow
you.
is my third nephew's 21st birthday, so y'all.
Nice.
He
Oh,
can
he
finally.
just called you 21.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. At least he can finally go to the liquor store and get him something nice, man. Legally. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think my brother's taking him to Nashville to have a little fun.
There we go.
I'll take
There
it.
we go.
But I'm calling because I just wanted to say the Titans will win tomorrow. Derrick Henry will win tomorrow. And I do believe in the Titans. I do.
Love it.
Love it.
All right.
School.
Thank you, Scooby.
The belief, that's the word sometimes I think at this, in these types of situations where you've lost 6 in a row,
Yeah.
you don't hear it as much from fans, right? But there's a lot of fans out there that still believe that this team can get it done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
615-737-1045. Big Pay is in Nashville up next this morning. Good morning, Big Pay.
So Big Pay.
Man, good morning. Happy birthday, my brother, Mom. I love all the Tennessee hype right now. But you know what?
Talk to us.
I'm going to look at the second quarter for the Titans on offense. It's going to tell me everything I need to know about the rest of that game. We always come out hot. We play hard. But guess what? That first series of the second quarter will let me know what we're going to do to those guys. Because if we don't get that ball out, if we don't spread the field and get 9 men out of the doggone box, Henry cannot have a good game. You go back and look at Texas, they were coming in hard and they were coming in hot, and he couldn't get 3 steps without having somebody on his leg or hitting him. It's hard to run with 9 people in the box because the team knows what you're going to do. This is going to be Todd down his chance to show us he can do more than lean on Henry for the entire game. If we get that ball out quick, if we give ourselves a chance, I'm tightening up all Saturday. I'm running around crazy. I got my Titan flag on. I got every Eddie George. I got every pin I got on. I'm
Yes,
gonna be
sir.
jumping on top of my own roof, and my neighbor's gonna be mad at me. But we got to do something different if we expect Henry to have a big game. Tighten up. Let's go get him.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Tighten up.
yeah, those second halves have been
Yeah.
definitely the issue
It has.
for the Titans, and that you saw a little bit of improvement with Dobbs in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got to change. That cannot happen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So answer this for me, Ramon. The balance between Josh Dobbs being more comfortable a week after his first start also comes with the caveat that Jacksonville has on film what his first start looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where is the positive? What is the bigger negative in this? Where do you kind of balance those two things? Because Josh Dobbs was probably introducing himself to some of his wide receivers literally on the sideline last Thursday against Dallas, but there's less of the surprise factor of the defense not knowing how the Titans are going to try to use him.
I think Jacksonville still has to take a very simple approach to Dobbs. They still don't know what else can he do. I think that's the beauty of him being in the league for this long and not really having a whole lot of starts and being in this position. Jacksonville's just going to be operating with reckless abandonment. I think the Titans staff know more about Dobbs than Jacksonville does, meaning if they're going to send – Tennessee's defense is kind of stay the same.
Yes.
If they're sending everything at him, Dobbs, this is where we need you to be. This is how we need you to do this. This is where your exit is. This is where we're going to run. Like, these are your checks. We saw Dobbs checking at the line of scrimmage already
That was
last
a big
week.
thing.
You know what I'm saying? Whether he was right or wrong, it was there, and he's starting to understand it. I think Jacksonville doesn't have enough film still yet, Will, to really break him down. And the other component of it, you guys have always heard me say this, with the mobile quarterback, those plans are good if you keep him in the pocket. And Josh, to me, didn't show whether he flushes more to his right or more to his left often.
Interesting.
They don't have those tendencies just yet. They can figure it out throughout the game if they, test some blitzes. Yeah. But if he hit a hot and you're down the field, you're not going to run that play again.
Yeah, and Funky Cheese Man, this was Cole Patterson on the chat. Dobbs did play in Jacksonville, but that was a while back. That's pretty much a new team and a new staff.
He was
completely
traded down there.
Yep. They've had 2 staffs since then.
Mm-hmm. He said more than that, I think.
The state of what it's been
they've
like
had
down
multiple
there.
stops since then.
Yeah, it's multiple stops.
I just think that's the challenge, and that's good insight from you on that because we so often go to the Titans' perspective on that conversation and say, "Oh, well, he'll feel so much more comfortable and he'll know the offense more." The other team also knows him more than they did, and I think that was the positive to him being named the starter as late as he was against Dallas. Thursday morning, the Cowboys had no clue what to expect.
Yep.
And at the same time, you felt like a lot of the mistakes Josh made against Dallas were late on in the game when you were forcing it down the field more than you want to on script in this game.
Yeah, no, I think this offense is still in a better position than what Jacksonville is, Will, to your point, though. As far as how they're going to attack him, there's no real tendencies they can pick up on Josh after 1 week.
615-737-1045 this morning. If you want to join us, we go to Sunny in Murfreesboro. I wonder if it is sunny in Murfreesboro this morning. Hello, Sunny.
What's up, Sonny?
Hey, y'all, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
All right, yeah, it is sunny in Murfreesboro, man. It's a little
Okay.
cold out this morning, but good morning, everybody. Mon, happy birthday, man. It's my
Thank
son's birthday today, too, man.
Oh,
Happy
nice.
birthday. And you make sure he had a good Christmas and a good birthday. Don't you dare give him some socks.
Hey, man, he won a motorbike, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, man. But I just wanted to see what you guys thought about this game Saturday, man. Would it be more of like Jacksonville's defense versus Todd Downing? And the reason I say that is because, I mean, we can have Derrick Henry, we can have these superstars, but at the end of the day, man, it's those offensive coordinators drawing up the plays. You know what I mean? The stagnant first down run, everybody knows it's coming. So I'm just trying to see, like, what you guys think about it, man. Like, would it be more Jacksonville versus, Todd Downing, or is it Jacksonville versus Tennessee Titans players? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Sonny.
Yeah, it will be that. I mean, that's football in a sense that makes it so beautiful too. Is how many times can you beat the man in front of you? Derek, I still think is the biggest focus point of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like that's one thing about teams. Like they'll get cocky. Coaches will get cocky. Oh, we don't worry about him. He'll be all right. He may do one or two things. I think teams will still approach this game by saying they will only beat us if Derek has a great game.
And I also think the play calling from Todd, or just maybe with having Dobbs in there in the last game, I thought there was a better flow to it, a more natural kind of feel for the game in terms of the play calling in the offense. So we'll be really interested to see if that carries over in that way at all, too, because you do have Derrick Henry back.
I did notice that. I was just like, there seems to be more downfield attack. What was Todd thinking?
What was Todd?
Well,
you're DA.
That's been asked a lot in 2 years.
I know for real, but it looked different in that Cowboys game, didn't it?
To be fair, I think some of that has to do with Josh Dobbs feeling more comfortable just spinning it than Malik Willis did.
True.
No hesitation.
True.
I think there was less hesitation. I think Josh deserves some credit for that. But at the same time, we didn't see that many downfield passes at times when Ryan Tannehill was in the game.
No.
Okay, let me throw this in there. Was it also because Derek wasn't in too?
Well, that's why I was saying that. Because what are we going to see that change and go back? Or because I would like to have it look the same, but then just have the advantage of Derek.
Have the advantage of Derek. Not Derek be the only item.
I think where you get in trouble with that is when Derek is in the game and this staff reverts back to runs on 2nd and long and runs on 1st and 10.
Yeah, man.
That's where this offense gets so much more predictable, and that's where Josh had the option of rolling out of the pocket and making plays off schedule. And then you had two guys chipping Micah Parsons.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to have to give the same attention to Josh Allen in this game as you were Parsons.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. We'll get to Andrew on the phone lines first up when we come back. More of your phone calls this morning at 615-737-1045 on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. 1045 The Zone.
If you have a wet basement or crawl space, guess what? It's time to call United Structural Systems. We've all heard about these guys for a long time and for good reason. They've served Middle Tennessee since 1994, and they've helped thousands of satisfied residential customers. They are the go-to company when it comes to foundation repair and waterproofing. And if you have a wet basement or crawl space, you don't have to put up with that. Water intrusion and moisture could give you all sorts of problems down the road, and you want to get it fixed. It could be because you have poor drainage or surface water flooding over the walls, or underwater pressure forcing water into your basement. It could be a plumbing leak. You just don't know. But the team of United Structural Systems will find out why you have a wet basement or crawl space and will give you a plan to fix it. If you decide to move forward, you don't have to pay a dime until the work is done and you are satisfied. So get that free estimate from the people I trust. Go to USSTN.com. Again, that's USSTN.com, or call them 615-227-2275. Again, the number is 615-227-2275. United Structural Systems.
It's Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 104.5 The Zone. More festivities for Ramon Foster this morning,
boy.
who turns 24 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the age.
He's gotten younger throughout the show.
100%.
I really wasn't expecting this, but I have.
Tune in next hour. He'll be getting his learner's permit, like me.
I told you I failed mine the first time.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I was so embarrassed.
That's right. 615-737-1045, our number. We go to Andrew in Gallatin up next with us on the phone lines. Good morning, Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
How you guys doing this morning?
Great.
Good morning.
I need to talk about this Jacksonville game. All these Titans fans, they just need to calm down. Jacksonville has too much to lose for this game. They need to win this division. I think they're on a roll right now. Titans are on a 6-game losing streak. So I just think the Jacksonville Jaguars have way too much to lose they can't lose this game this year. I mean, they've been the laughing stock of our division for so long, and I think it's since we finally found a winning coach, they actually know how to win now. They're not going to be the laughing stock anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Lawrence has turned our whole program around. They're looking good, and now the only thing I'm worried about is Henry, because every time he comes to Jacksonville, he always rushes for 200-plus yards.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm really worried about. And like one of the tweets you guys called out, we did have Dobbs on our team, so we know him a little bit. And of course, I think that was like 5 years ago. So,
yeah. And
I just don't think the Titans. I don't think they need to be in the playoffs. To be honest with you, I just think they need not to rebuild, but I think it's our time to be division winners, only for the second time in the AFC South. You know.
Yeah.
So I think we've earned it this year. I just think the Titans need to heal up, and the injuries have been horrible. So I guess that's all I got for you guys.
I appreciate that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate the call.
Come on, Will. What you got? You got nothing? Oh, thought it was Trash Talking Friday, man.
Look, I don't think anybody should ever say deserve. Like, yeah, have the Jags turn things around this year, and they should be given a whole lot of credit for what they're doing. But, and it's tough. 6 in a row, that is a tough pill to swallow if you're a Titans fan. Real tough pill. But, there's been more than the injury problems. There have been problems with this offense and being able to score more than 24 points, once?
Yep.
Yeah.
However, those guys are not thinking of it as in a way like we don't deserve to win the division. Like they're going to do everything they can still with one game left to prove they deserve to win the division.
Yeah, you deserve to win the division when you win a primetime game that's a winner-take-all game. So you don't deserve anything yet.
So this is kind of what you expect, though, ain't it, Will?
Definitely not how that works.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun to start to see this rivalry now getting to be not just a rivalry because it's an AFC South opponent, but because it's possibly the Jags starting to get to another level.
And they actually have a guy not named Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, God.
Titans legend.
That's true.
Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert, who started a win and in Week 17 game for the Titans not that long ago, by the way.
Is he still with Tampa Bay as a backup?
Believe so. Yeah. Him and Kyle Trask.
They are.
Yeah.
Sure
down there chilling.
Florida's finest.
Florida men. Swab Zombie is back with us at 615-737-1045. Hello, Swab Zombie.
What's up, Swab?
Good morning, guys. First things first, I love you, Kmart Mike. This last caller, Tom, man, he sounds scared, man. He already admitted Derrick Henry's going for 200, okay? So 2 TDs, 200 all-purpose yards, Dobbs throwing 2 dimes, 2 touchdown passes. Titans by 13! Calm that down, D-Ville.
That's 4 touchdowns, baby. That's 28 points this weekend.
Thank you, Swab Zombie.
Let's go, Swab.
All it took was one Jags fan in Gallatin to get the people riled up a little bit this morning.
All it ever takes is a Jag, Will. It's always a Jag.
I was going to say, if we want to go down the rabbit hole of what the city of Jacksonville deserves, I don't know if it's a division title. I think there's a lot of other things that city deserves.
telling you.
They deserve more Thursday night games. Nobody's watching wearing mustard uniforms if they deserve anything.
Hey, a guy in Gallatin gonna be head at your neck, man. It's Jags hate week. It's Titans hate week.
Well,
today.
I've got a security guy in Sumner County that's pretty good at what he does.
Pretty savvy with it.
I thought it was funny yesterday in the locker room because I was telling you how energetic the locker room was. And for a minute, you saw DeMarcus Walker and Derrick Henry, whose lockers are right across from each other. They're both Jacksonville area dudes, right? Just straight up from there. They were having a little conversation yesterday in the locker room. I bet it's always fun for those guys that are born, raised there.
Yeah.
To be coming back as the enemy.
Yep. I enjoyed playing here. I'll be honest with you. I knew my people were going to be here. I knew in the off season I stayed here also. It's fun. Yeah, it absolutely is fun.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that guy was a Jags fan until like 80%
Actually,
through the call. I was like, oh, he's kind of trash talking right now.
I always wondered who that one guy in Gallatin that go to the Buffalo Wild Wings wearing a Jags jacket is. It's that guy.
Oh, for real?
Now I know who the guy is.
They make Jags jackets?
They exist.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yes, they do.
Do they look the same as the tarps they usually put on the empty seats, or is that a different color? Does those have different advertising? I'm just okay.
Spicy.
Are the tarps gonna? Okay, well there you go.
Albrecht's the Jags fan on the chat is like, what happened? What did I miss?
He had a Jags cousin call in.
615-737-1045, the number. Many more of your phone calls as Titans fans respond to the one Jags fan that lives north of the Sunshine State. 615-737-1045. Titans Bill leads us off to start hour 3 at halftime of Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 1045 The Zone.
Suck it.
8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. 5 players listed as questionable for Saturday's AFC South title tilt at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those players: Traylon Burks, Dylan Cole, Christian Fulton, Amani Hooker, and Nicholas Petit-Frere. Meanwhile, Terrell Basham, Danico Autry, Derrick Henry, Jeffrey Simmons, and Josh Thompson did not have injury designations yesterday. They are expected to play. Only Devontae Harris has been ruled out. According to doctors, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is beginning to awaken as he shows substantial improvement in his recovery. Hamlin is still considered critically ill, but it does appear that his neurological condition is intact. The Week 17 game between the Bengals and Bills has been canceled and will not continue, according to the league. Also, the league's competition committee is set to vote on multiple scenarios in which the AFC Championship game could be played at a neutral site. To the ice, the Nashville Predators over the Carolina Hurricanes 5-3. UC Soros, on the same day he was named an all-star for the second straight season, made 64 saves, the third most saves in a single game in league history. Nashville has won 3 of its last 4, has scored 5 goals in each of its 3 victories. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
And the show goes on into hour number 3 on this Friday edition of Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All 4 Seasons Garage Doors. You only get 52 Fridays in a year, so make it a good one.
Yeah, yay.
Act like it.
Look at the math guy over here.
That's what I'm saying. Big brain over there.
Uh-huh.
Big brain. I think 52. In the ballpark of 50 Fridays that you get. And we're rolling with this one on a game day eve and Ramon Foster Eve today with Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, and the best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer, making the show happen.
The best producer in the world!
Of the world, Craig. The world.
And taking your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Many of you ready to chime in on Titans and Jags tomorrow, and many of you taking the correct route in wanting to win this game.
I'm here for that.
We haven't had many tanking calls today.
No, we haven't. We've had a couple. We had the Jags fan just at the end of the hour. That was just crazy.
I was like, am I hearing this correct?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know where he was coming from at first either, but he said the Titans deserve to lose this game. It's like, dang.
I was like, wait a second here.
Just go heal up.
On the injury report for the Titans, only cornerback Devontae Harris has been ruled out for tomorrow's game. Terrell Basham back at practice after Wednesday. He's ready to go. Danico Autry, a full participant once again. He will be ready. Christian Fulton and Amani Hooker are both questionable for tomorrow's game. Derrick Henry practiced in full. He's ready to go. Jeffrey Simmons was limited all week, but he will be good to go. Nicholas Petit-Frere and Dylan Cole are both questionable, but Josh Thompson, back from a concussion after missing the last 2 games, he will be a go for the Titans as well.
Yeah, that's probably one of the healthier injury reports in terms of players not being listed as out. Yes, there's still some questionables, but usually we've seen in the past few days or a few weeks like 5 outs, 4 outs.
Mm-hmm.
And then not a lot of hope with some of the guys even being ready for Sunday if they were questionable. So,
among those who are questionable for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, in name only questionable. Trevor Lawrence is going to play tomorrow.
I thought that was funny that he was even
too.
questionable on there.
He had a rest day against the Texans, heck. He really
This
didn't
whole
do
second
much.
half.
Yeah, he did.
Interior lineman Brandon Scherf with an abdomen and an ankle injury. Questionable. Ramon's laughing. Why are you laughing?
What's going on over there?
Because Ron Slay, our teammate, put on there. You see what he said? Go ahead, Will.
I haven't seen it yet.
In the chat. It's brand new in there.
Slay says on 104.5 The Zone TV on YouTube. You can join him there at 104.5 The Zone. Watch the show. Says you should do a Titans fans injury report.
Oh,
it would be a very long list.
That's
so many
really
would be questionable.
funny. That's great, Ron. That's
He
really
said,
funny.
I wonder how many Titans fans will be listed as inactive. LOL.
That's great.
So hold up. On the list, we got Kmart Mike is on the list. He's questionable.
That's right.
Who called in and backed him up recently after that call? We had a few other callers that put him on the questionable list. Yeah, that's wild style.
Yeah, if you are inactive for tomorrow's game, please declare yourself before the noon deadline, but the day before the game. Declare yourself out, doubtful, or questionable.
Yeah.
If you're a full go, then you need to be a full participant today at practice.
I need to hear that on the calls moving forward. Are you full participant or questionable for this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Brandon Scherf, we mentioned Fole Fatukasi with an ankle injury. He's questionable. Rayshawn Jenkins, notable. He had the interceptions against the Dallas Cowboys in that big win. Trayvon Walker, questionable with an ankle, and Andrew Wingard among those big names who are questionable for Jacksonville, but they have not been nearly as banged up as the Titans have this year, that's for sure.
Alex says, what about injured reserve?
They've been checked out.
Goodness. 615-737-1045, the number. Titans Bill with us this morning on the phone lines. Hey, Bill.
State your status.
Hey, how's it going, guys and gals?
Good.
Great. Tomorrow, the Titans is going to win. They are due. The front four needs to play a good game.
Mm-hmm.
The linebacking core needs to play a good game. And most of all, the VFL, which is Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
The only negative thing I could say about Josh Dobbs is he played for Butch Jones. In this part of Tennessee, a lot of people are not big fans of Butch Jones. I'm calling you from Knoxville.
Oh.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the call. I missed the last part of that. What Jonathan Schaefer was relaying information.
He's calling from Knoxville is what he was saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Love it. Thank you, Titans Bill. Appreciate the
Hold it
call.
against him.
God's country. Love that. We go next to Linda in Murfreesboro on the phone lines with us today. Good morning, Linda.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Well, I just want to let y'all know tomorrow is my 78th birthday.
Oh, yeah. You and Ramon celebrating tomorrow.
There we go.
And I am definitely a full participant.
There we go.
And there's nothing I want more for my birthday than a Titans full-on SmackDown win.
You win. You win. Happy early birthday to you, and may you celebrate big tomorrow night.
Yes, my daughter's coming up from Georgia, and I've already told her she can just sit down and shut up because I'm watching.
Yes, Linda!
That's birthday behavior right there.
Linda in Murfreesboro wins today. Thank you for the call. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Linda.
If that don't light your
Now
fire, your
that
wood's wet.
Yeah.
Is a fan.
That's a fan. And she says she's a full participant.
I'm so glad there are not
participant.
any brick walls near us because I'd be running through them right now.
And like I
That's
said,
awesome.
age is just a number,
It
baby.
is.
It's how you feel.
Linda's ready
Thank
to
you,
go.
Linda.
Man, get you
Linda's
some-
21 tomorrow.
Yes, she is, Kayla. That's all I heard.
One of our other favorites is on the phone line with us this morning. Bubba and Dixon, check it in.
My God.
Our guy. Good morning, Bubba. How are you?
What's up, Bubba? Vols fan?
Hey, listen. Ramon, happy early birthday, buddy.
Thank you, good sir.
So I just got to have some kind of words before I just, I'm a full participant.
Okay.
Been there all, okay? No injuries all year. I'm sitting there. I'm here. To hear a Jacksonville guy call in that we don't deserve.
Yeah.
They deserve. Son, you deserve a smack upside your head. All right, listen. I'm going to hit you with the Stanley. And I know Will is going to like this one. But, boy, have you lost your mind? It's going to help you find it.
Because I'll help you find it.
All I'm going to say is Henry and Dobbs is going to help you find it.
Yes,
You
sir.
grab that bus. You can get all these Titans fans that want this draft pick. Go get your clown mask. You go root for the Jaguars this weekend after they get their butt kicked.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, AFC South might be crap this year, but guess what? I'd rather be the King Turd on Crap Mountain than nothing. Let's go win this division. Let's sneak in. And guess what? Let's make that playoff run. All right, we got everybody back. Big Jeff gonna eat, Big Dobbs gonna throw, and Big Henry is gonna tear them up. Let's go.
Let's go, Bubba.
What back to back, just phenomenal calls.
Yeah.
The king of
Linda
Crap
and Bubba?
Mountain himself.
Bubba said he been healthy all year, man. Whoo!
There aren't many of those.
Full participant out here. No.
We got some full participants.
Yeah, there we go. Finally starting to knock down that wall a little bit.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's go to Jeff in Nashville up next this morning. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up?
I guess I'll start off with saying I'm questionable for the game, but with a surprise entry tomorrow. Surprise entry, so they don't know I'm coming.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Gamesmanship.
And then I got to say something to the Jaguars fan. Ha ha! If anything, we deserve to win. We deserve to win this game because we've had so many injuries the past 2 years. Titans deserve to win it. They don't not deserve.
Exactly, man. He called in and said, "Y'all sit back, man. You hurt, stay hurt. We got this." That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
Told you.
Man, see that caller, that Jags caller does not know what he just did.
Andrew in Gallatin has lit the flames.
Yeah, he did. I actually was.
Andrew.
It ain't Andrew in White House. Can't be him.
Yeah.
He in Gallatin.
Gallatin? Yeah.
615-737-1045.
Wonder if he's going, by the way. Wonder if he's going.
Who's
to the
that?
game. Andrew.
Andrew in Gallatin?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd be going if I'm a Jags fan.
Have you been to that stadium?
Yeah. Do you want to know what my first trip ever was
Uh-oh.
when I came to Nashville, Tennessee?
I'm about to find out.
That was my first road trip
Oh,
with
was
the
it
Titans.
really?
Now they got the dub, so I can say that was cool.
Yeah.
But there were other things that I was like, where are we?
Boy, well, now we
The
starting.
pools were there though,
They were,
and I was watching
It's insane that they actually had
the
that
pool activity.
Yeah, pool activity.
I'm glad to know that
Put that one piece on, please.
this fan base
Which part?
was so.
Will you grow
You
up?
just derailed everything I was going to say. And honestly, there's no reason for me to even go there.
That was the point. That's why I did it.
Sometimes I could power through. I could not power through on that one. Which one? You better.
I didn't self-shave that time. I ain't trying to get fired on my day off.
So I really hope the Jacksonville mascot, did you guys see the way he was dressed a few weeks ago?
He's always in something.
The Jacksonville Jaguar mascot had a
was a
Speedo
one-piece.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
An American flag
He's feeling
Speedo by the
confident.
end of the game. And he looked slim, too.
Yeah, I was at a
Yeah.
game where he skydove in.
Oh, really?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Jackson DeVille.
Okay.
Okay, that's kind of
It's a
cool.
good name.
That's
good.
all right, right? That's kind of
Pretty cool.
Better than Major Tuddy. I love Major Tuddy.
I
Major
hate
Tuddy
Okay,
and I are boys.
just the gut thing.
No.
They could have
the
made him
gut.
look good. You just gave us a reason why. You said the Jackson DeVille, he looked slim. That's what you just said a second
he
ago.
did. He looked in
Yeah.
shape, and
Well,
then
that was only for one game.
and then Tutty over here has a belly
Lumpy.
hanging out.
And Kayla, it ain't just a belly. He lumpy with
He's
it,
a
though.
lumpy belly.
Like, it'd be different if they made him round like Porky Pig.
Right.
You'd be okay with Porky Pig.
I would.
But the fact that they got his shirt tucked in, the Commanders are who we're speaking of. His shirt's tucked in, is all lumpy, and he got wrinkles around his wrist. Who that big to where you got wrinkles around your wrist?
So they're also
Come on,
making him
man.
look older than he is.
I mean, you played a lot of nose tackles who probably looked that big.
They looked way better shape than Tutty was, man. That
And you could
blows
see
my
them because
mind.
they were in front of you and they never got behind you. So you could see them all.
Doggone right, Will.
That's
Hey,
right.
you know how to get me going. on
Happy
my
birthday, Ramon.
Birthday behavior. That was my gift from Will right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness. No, I mean, Jackson DeVille's a good mascot. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's done everything in that stadium.
He's no blooper, but he's a good mascot.
Dude, did you see the type of condition that mascot's in? He's on meth. Come on. You know he is.
It is Florida.
Central
Hey, American
Using
boxer
violence.
shorts or swim trunks, and he's that skinny with his arms, and you're going to tell me I'm wrong?
He's ziplined.
Never
in there,
told you
man.
you're wrong. Never tell the best producer in the world he's wrong.
That's a lot of negative reinforcements that mascot's reinforcing
Oh
right
my
there.
God. I can't wait for Saturday.
Negative stereotypes he's reinforcing, I should say.
Hey, you know what? His life matters too.
Good Lord. Coming up next, voice of the
Duval
Titans,
this.
Mike Keith, joins us. How much more comfortable is Josh Dobbs going into his second start versus his first one last Thursday? And isn't there just something about Derrick Henry playing in Jacksonville where you always feel like this team has a chance. We'll get Mike Keith's perspective on this matchup tomorrow in the AFC South at 4. The AFC South. Coming up next on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Friday edition of Ramon, Kayla, and Will is powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors right here on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling with you. Jonathan Schaefer making the show happen as we go to the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. And here for the man who is always a full participant for the Tennessee Titans, the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Need great health care coverage at an affordable price tag? Let Farm Bureau Health Plans coach you through it. They've been protecting Tennesseans for 75 years. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning.
Mike, how much more comfortable do you expect Josh Dobbs to be with the offense this week compared to last Thursday?
I think probably decidedly more comfortable. Even seeing him in practice with what he's tried to do in terms of getting the calls and, you use the wristband when you get into games, but Josh has, been getting into the flow of working without it and trying to, make sure that he understands what goes into everything. And you could just see the pieces go together. You could see him talking to specific guys about things and sort of putting his own spin on it a little bit, like where he thinks they'll be on certain plays. And that part of it is really not a surprise. I mean, there's not a lot of it that I could tell you from a football standpoint and say, oh, well, this will be better, or that will be better, because I'm not a football expert. But when you ask me about his comfort, that's something you can just see watching him in practice, and you can tell that's definitely growing.
Mike, we felt the energy all morning from Titans fans. We had a Jags fan call in, and the phone lines light up immediately of Titans fans just kind of ready to go this morning. And, off the rest last week for Derrick Henry, you just get the feeling, you get the energy talking to people that there's just always something about a Derrick Henry game against Jacksonville and in Jacksonville, isn't there, that just kind of always gives a different feel to this game for this Titans team.
Yeah, I just sort of want to give you a sinister laugh right now.
Yep.
I've seen 50 of the – I've actually seen how many? 52? 50 of the 56 games.
Wow.
Because thanks, Kayla.
I meant that in a good way.
And this is my favorite rivalry. And I've said it, from day one, because when we started – Jacksonville was in a heyday period with Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor and Keenan McCardell and Mark Brunell and a bunch of good guys on defense. And we could beat them, and we were the team, and 99 was the primary example. They lost 3 games the whole year, and all 3 of them were to us. And so they don't like us. And it's more like a college rivalry than anything else that I've seen. And so I was coming from college at the time. And, of course, in the late 90s, Tennessee-Florida was the big rivalry. So then the Tennessee-Jacksonville thing had that similar vibe. And so now as we go into this game, and it's such a big deal, and they're obviously very excited with good reason. They're calling it potentially the biggest regular season game in Jacksonville history.
Wow.
I think it's awesome. It's fantastic. And I'm just glad Derrick Henry's on my side in this game. Mm-hmm. Because I think for this type of game, this is the type of moment where stars shine. And to me, we have the biggest star of all. So there we go.
Mike, we've been, fielding questions about statuses of fans this in the last hour, man. Are you full participant, questionable, doubtful, or out? I need to know where you are for this weekend, man, as we move forward, Mike.
Well, I think you get to a certain point in life and you're always questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty questionable about 3/4 of the time. I'll be there. It's going to take a lot for me not to be there. I'll tell you that, because I want to see it. I want to see what the old Gator Bowl feels like at this point. A lot of people don't remember before Jacksonville moved in there and it became Alltel Stadium. Initially, it was the Gator Bowl, and I think it's going to be wild. And that's a good place to be. I'd say we'll get a hearty boo when we come out of the tunnel, and it'll be fun. We've gone in there a few times where there haven't been that many fans, And to see it full again like it was in the old days, I think it's going to be really exciting.
And that's where I was headed with that question is, where your status was. With that being said, you're the mouthpiece that's going to deliver the emotions, the feels to thousands of listeners that'll be paying attention to this game and the reaction of it also. What is this environment like, Mike? How excited are you for this? And I know there's, split between the fan bases. We want a draft pick or no, we want the division. How important is this for you to kind of give this to the fans of like how amped up this team's going to be this weekend?
I will, during the day tomorrow, it's going to be a long day for the players. It's going to be a really long day for me because I'm ready to go right now.
Yep.
I'm ready to go right now.
Wow.
Let us go. Because I'm not ever going to tell anybody how to think because I understand some of the talk about draft picks. And everybody has their right to view it in their own way, and I'm not going to judge them. For me, what I know is if we have one more point than them tomorrow night at 10:30, then suddenly we are 0-0. We are no longer 8-9. We're 8-9 for 1 minute, and then we become 0-0 because we go into the tournament as the 4 seed. And this is the healthiest team we will have seen in a while. If we could take this team into the tournament, we got a shot. And that's what I want more than anything else is I want a shot at the tournament. So for me, I understand how precious it is because we went 9 years without going to the tournament, without going to the playoffs. And there's a whole different feel of it when you get in because at that moment, you've got a shot at anybody. We can play with anybody at any time if we can get in. And then you never know what will happen. You never, ever know. I've always thought when we finally win a world championship, and we will at some point, it may happen when we least expect it. It may not happen the year we go 14-3 or 13-4. So, that's how I feel about it. I just think making the playoffs is the biggest deal you can get because the ultimate goal is still out there if you make the playoffs. And I let next year take care of next year. What comes next takes care of what comes next. And it's obviously going to be one of the most interesting off seasons in franchise history. There's no question. But that doesn't need to start until it needs to start.
You had mentioned, there's a lot of players on this team that have had the privilege now to go to the postseason, and they've enjoyed that feeling. This year, there's a lot of rookies. There's a lot of young players that have been able to contribute right away. I remember talking to Chigakonkwo in the locker room this week and just a look on his face when I said, what does it mean to play in a game like this? Like, Mike, how big is it for these younger guys to have a game like this now for all the marbles and maybe their chance to go to the playoffs for the first time in their pro career?
It's great. We've leaned a lot on this rookie class, and they've done a really nice job overall. And that's been exciting. And then we've leaned a lot on the Jack Gibbons and the Ryan Stonehouses, and then practice squad players that we've called up who maybe aren't necessarily rookies, but they're players who haven't ever had their chances. And Kel, I think it's one of the reasons we had so much bounce in the Dallas game.
Yeah.
People were like, boy, this team is into this, and the practices have been like that because everybody gets that this is not only the Titans' chance, in some cases, this is their chance. And, Chig is going to have more chances. Chig's going to be a foundational player for what we do. Traylon's going to have more chances. Roger's going to have more chances. Nicholas is going to have more chances. That's a fact. But for some of these other guys, they know this is it. And if they hit it, like for Joshua Dobbs, if Joshua Dobbs does something special right here, he changes the arc of his career. Yeah. And so for those guys with that part of it in mind too, it's also been exciting. And then you have the Kevin Byards of the world who know how precious these moments are.
Yeah, that's very true, Mike. And speaking of the defense, and congrats to Kevin Byard. He had a nice little award in the locker room yesterday. Mike, I didn't know if you got to see any of that, but I thought that was very, very well suited for a guy that has been nothing but a pro. But just how big can he be, back there on Saturday?
It's got to be big. That whole secondary's got to be big. And I mean, let's face it, they got worked 26 days ago. I mean, so there's a lot of motivation, a lot of pride in that room because I mean, Trevor Lawrence threw for his career high, and I mean that's they know, and Kevin knows, and Kevin knew in the Dallas game if we were even going to have a chance, he had to step up.
Yeah,
and he did. And he knows in this situation, this is the moment where these guys have to step forward. And, Mike Vrabel says it all the time. That's the expectation in the NFL is your best players have to step forward in the biggest moments. So, for Kevin, for Derrick Henry, for Jeffrey Simmons, for Danico Autry, for all of those types of players, you understand that that's what has to happen.
Mike, for this Titans defense, without Andrew Adams, who's just really played himself into such a prominent role, who are you looking at to help replace his production and step in at a safety position that's among those that are still banged up at this point?
Not going to be a smart aleck here, but Amani Hooker.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, to get Amani back is such a big deal, Will. Because Amani can play all over. Yeah. Amani's faster too. He's a better athlete. And that's a part of Amani that we miss. I mean, getting Christian Fulton back at the other corner is also a big factor. But Amani is just, and he's had such a rough year with what all's gone on. I mean, just bizarre deals. And Amani's a tough guy. I mean, he doesn't miss time without it being something that's very real. So to get him back in the lineup and to understand he can get his hands on a ball. He can knock a ball loose. He's good against the run, and he has good speed. Andrew's issue overall is Andrew's not that fast. Andrew's smart. He's crafty, and he did play good football for us. But the athleticism of Amani, really makes everybody better in that group. And then you get a guy like Joshua Kalu who can do more of what he's able to do in a more natural role, or Trey Avery, or, whomever you put out there at that point.
Mike, this Jacksonville offense, Travis Etienne with the 62-yard touchdown run last week against Houston, the weapons that they have are well documented. When you look at this team and the way they've evolved over the course of this season, what is the biggest challenge in stopping this Jacksonville offense as it stands right now in Week 18?
They've got a lot of speed. That's the biggest thing about them, Will, that has really changed the overall sort of dynamic with them is, Christian Kirk can run, Zay Jones can run, Evan Ingram can really run, especially for a tight end. We've played him twice in his career, and he's caught 19 passes against us. So we certainly know who he is. And then you mentioned Etienne and what Etienne gives, and then they come with Hasty, another guy who can run. That's the difference in them, and we saw that in the game. And Mike Vrabel said it in his pregame interview. He said, hey, Jacksonville's faster than us, and they certainly were on December the 11th. They will not have as big a speed advantage in this game, which is a good thing, but they're still going to be faster than most defenses. So you've got to take them down. You've got to, they catch the ball, you got to hit them immediately. You can't let them get behind you, obviously, but the other part of it too is you've got to play tight on them. You've got to make everything hard. You've got to be very, very aggressive with this bunch. It's funny because when we used to play the Jacksonville teams in the 90s, Fred Taylor, Keenan McCardell, Jimmy Smith, all those guys, they were fast. So what did we do? We played aggressive against them. We made everything hard. We annoyed them. We were the dog biting at your leg the whole time. and I think that's got to be the strategy in this game. You've got to be that dog biting at their leg the whole time to make everything difficult. In that game on December 11th, they were way too open, way too free, way too much in a flow. And listen, if it becomes that kind of game, we've probably got a tough night ahead, because they're pretty. You know, when you look at their offense and you see what they're doing, I mean, that's a pretty offense with some good-looking athletes. You've got to keep them from getting into that flow.
Mike, and that's the question I wanted to ask you, man. As far as you watching the history of this league and this division specifically, getting a dub on a guy like Trevor Lawrence before we expect him to take those next steps, how important is that this year and also moving forward?
So yeah, it's going to be terribly important, because listen, he's elite. We can say, well, we still don't know. We know he's elite, because if you look at the style of offense that's played today with the RPOs and with quarterbacks being able to really do a variety of things, he's the prototype. Because the other part of it too, Ramon, is he's 6'6".
Yeah.
He is 6 feet 6 inches tall, can really, really run. So he's the RPO quarterback of this era coming out of these programs, and he can do all of that, but he can also do Dan Marino things. Drop back 7 steps, stand there and throw it. He can do the other part of it too, like your old guy Ben Roethlisberger, somebody hanging off of him in the pocket. He can take off up the middle and run for a first down for 15 yards. There's really no part of it. He throws with touch. He's got a big enough arm. It's not going to be easy to handle him forever. And so the part of this for us is we've got to always make it as hard on him as possible, because I don't know that he'll become Peyton Manning, because that's rare, but I'm not thrilled that he's in our division for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, our guest this morning, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Need great health care coverage at an affordable price. Let Farm Bureau Health Plans coach you through it. They've been protecting Tennesseans for 75 years. Mike, thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Mike.
All right, there is voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, with us this morning on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. We react to that. We take more of your phone calls coming up next at 615-737-1045, and we get you a little something to sip on tomorrow for Titans and Jags. Our tailgate tip of the week, courtesy of our friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. A great cocktail, I believe. A little bit of bourbon in it, so it's a great cocktail.
Right
to
up
me.
your y'all's
Coming
alleys.
up next on 104.5 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster and Kayla Anderson for Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. I'm here to tell you, and Kayla also, the Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, they are the heating and cooling company that can take care of all of your HVAC needs. And Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is a York certified comfort expert company, which means they always back their parts and labor warranties up to 10 years on York products. Kayla, what else you got for us?
And check this out, you guys. This is a family-owned and operated company that's been in business for over 10 years. That's right. When they say family-owned and operated, they freaking mean it. From Kevin opening the doors back in 2011 while raising his family, to now his daughters running the office, his son-in-law running on on-site technicians. Listen, you guys, this is the place you gotta go check it out. If you need repair work, they offer free service calls with their repairs, plus low monthly payments on those repairs.
And if you do need a new unit also, Spring Hill Heating and Cooling offers 60 months no interest financing. Plus, they can provide the financing for qualifying purchases and free estimates on replacement units. Listen to me. Go call them. Go to their websites before you absolutely have an issue. SpringHillAC.com.
Friday edition of Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, right here on 104.5 The Zone. Great conversation with
birthday.
voice of the Titans, Mike Keith. Our tailgate tip of the week coming up in just a moment. But first, we go back to the phone lines. Where a special guest is called in. And typically when this special guest calls in, we get great stories about Ramon Foster that Ramon Foster does not want out there. Ron Slay has joined us today. Hello, Ron.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, good people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Fired up today. How you guys doing? What's up, KK?
What's up, Slay?
Man. Hey, how you doing, William Lee?
How are you? Good morning.
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good. Hey, man, my good brother, man, Mr. Savage himself. How you doing, Ramon?
I was wondering when you was getting to me. Yeah, I don't like the tone of your voice this morning. I hear it. I know it's pure foolishness.
No. Never pure foolishness when I call, especially on a day like tomorrow. Anytime you got a day that's so special, it carries over to the day before and the day after. Yeah, you really made it. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to figure out which suit do I wear tomorrow. Do I wear my birthday suit full of baby oil, or do I put on a 3-piece suit and come out there and celebrate with my boy? You just shoot me a text, man, and I'm ready for whatever. Man. I'm just telling you, I'm bragging for my dog.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, first of all, 3 things. I'm going to get on out of here. 3 till today. I can't wait. I'm making people choose. I'm drawing a line in the sand. Is you active or inactive? We ain't written under the BS. I'm going on my rant. I'm just letting y'all know.
Yes.
Second thing is, William Lee, if you ever wave your finger in the air when Nevada's speaking, again, we will come down on you with pure hell, like the people's elbow, the rock bring to him, like Stone Cold when he clapped the Bills in the air. I will come in that studio like he did Vince McMahon when he was laying in that hospital bed.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
That's right. And to you, KK, thank you for blessing my brother with that cookie cake that he cannot eat. That right there made my day, and I'm going to eat it for him.
Yeah.
See? Safe, I just want you to know on this special day, you're the best producer in the world, because I said so.
Yeah.
And after that, Mr. Savage himself, this goes out to you, my brother, because you deserve something special. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the day that the Lord has made.
That the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice.
Let us rejoice.
Because the Savage has made. The Savage has made. Savage, we love you. Happy birthday, Mr. Savage. I'm out of here, man.
Hey, man. Love you, dude. Grow up, man.
He broke out the "This is the day."
Only Ronald
On another
Sylvester, y'all.
The Church of No Roof Ministries.
Can we get an amen?
Joining us for a special Friday morning service, sunrise service this morning.
Did he already have
Thank you,
like
Ron.
a bag of M&Ms this morning? I mean,
Oh no,
he is hyped.
He just he got baby ball ready to go to school this morning. Is M's in here? Yeah, they still in there.
They're
They
still
ain't been
there.
touched.
Are you putting a little slice of cookie in there?
Oh, he definitely coming by to grab a piece of cookie. I knew when you brought it. I knew who was going to take the biggest piece. It's between him and Shafe.
Not gonna be Buck.
Him, Shafe, and
Whoa,
Miles.
I did not take the biggest.
I'm
I
just
didn't-
saying, in general, like I had a bet to myself: you, Shay, you, Ron, or Miles.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
Although I
think so.
took 2 smaller pieces.
Oh no, I wasn't
I was
shaming
good.
you.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
That
I'm actually
always-
proud of myself.
Yeah, it makes you feel better when you take the smaller slices and you just keep on taking the smaller size. It's like the fun size candy. You just take a couple of them and then you just keep on taking, but you feel better.
You know what I've learned as an
yeah,
adult?
yeah.
That secretly we all have an inner fat kid.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
100%.
100%.
We do. I laugh so much when I see former running backs or defensive backs that get real portly in their retired life. I'll be like, oh, yeah, welcome to the life, little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we know who to take the smallest piece, and he comes on from 10 to 1 after us. Maryland
Lucas?
Farms Wine and Spirit. No, not Lucas. I would never disparage the name of one Lucas Aloysius Panzica this morning. Lucas doesn't have a middle name, actually. I don't know why I was giving it.
Like he actually does not have a middle name?
Well, does he
a
have
middle
two
name.
last names? So he's Brazilian, right?
He's just Lucas Panzica.
Oh.
Or you know.
You know they inherit like the mom and dad's last name?
Really?
Like Spanish culture? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Our tailgate tip of the week, courtesy of our friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. Go see them right off Old Hickory Boulevard in Brentwood, right next to the Publix. You can't miss them right there at Creekside Crossing. If you're feeling a little rusty from the holidays, try the Rusty Nail this weekend. They've got everything you need.
Get your tetanus shot.
You're going to go with 1.5 ounces of bourbon and 3/4 ounce of Drambuie. Yes, I had to look up the pronunciation of Drambuie, but they've got it there for you. They're going to be able to pronounce it and sell it to you. You're going to serve this with ice, stir the mixture until well chilled, then strain it into a rocks glass over one large ice cube. And there you go.
Like that.
The Rusty Nail.
That is something you could make at home with your
I could make?
supply of.
I don't think I have the strainer thing.
You
whatever
don't?
You do for that. No,
Well,
I
you can
don't.
just use 2 cups.
That's a good point. I could just
Yeah.
use 2
Use
cups.
2 cups.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Come on.
2 wheels, 1 cup?
Go to break.
Pocket's way
Go
over
to
here.
break.
The pocket is way over here. Jonathan Schaefer's way
out
out
of
here.
pocket.
Go to break.
There it is.
Hour 4 next. 104.5 this
Out of pocket.
9 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. 5 players listed as questionable for Saturday's AFC South title tilt at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those players, Traylon Burks, Dylan Cole, Christian Fulton, Amani Hooker, and Nicholas Petit-Frere. Meanwhile, Terrell Basham, Danico Autry, Derrick Henry, Big Jeffrey Simmons, and Josh Thompson did not have injury designations yesterday. They are expected to play. Only Devontae Harris has been ruled out. According to doctors, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is beginning to awaken as he shows substantial improvement in his recovery. Hamlin is still considered critically ill, but it does appear that his neurological condition is intact. To the ice, the Predators defeated the Hurricanes 5-3. UC Saros, who was named an All-Star for the second straight season, made 64 saves. It is the third most saves in a single game in league history. Nashville has won 3 of its last 4 and has scored at least 5 goals in each of those victories. For foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
And the show goes on for 60 more minutes. Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors. Jim Wyatt of TennesseeTitans.com joining us in 20 minutes this morning. Ramon Foster on his birthday eve.
Yeah.
After being serenaded by Ron Slay just minutes ago. Kayla Anderson and the best, not second best, the best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer, making the show happen.
The best producer in the world!
Of the world, Craig. The world. I'm Will Bowling. The phone number 615-737-1045. As I know 3HL always has Trash Talk Friday on every single Friday. It got started a little early.
It did.
This morning.
I got a feeling it's going to continue, too, because this questionable full participant and active situation is getting real strong around here, Will.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And stay tuned all day because it's going to be a high-energy day on the Buck Rising Show with Lucas Panzica or the Lucas Panzica Show with Buck Rising, however you want to cut it, with Blaine and Mickey and 3HL as well. It is a good day to be locked in and be ready for tomorrow. And as Mike Keith said, he's ready to go right now. And I think a lot of you feel the same way.
I thought that was pretty wild to hear Mike Keith say that. I was about to say, Mike,
I'm telling you, the energy was different yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that ought to tell you. Mike's around them all the time. That ought to tell you where the players are in the sense of that. And I don't think he was selling wolf tickets or hope or anything like that. I just think when you're around a group of guys that's after the same mission, and that's not losing games, that's winning, coming together, I think you do feel that. Kaylee, like you said, you came in here hype about the locker room feels that they had.
Hyped. And look, I also will say this. With the news that everyone got with Damar Hamlin, the positive news yesterday, I think it also just lightened a lot of spirits in especially players. Yeah. Like I asked Mike Vrabel about it after practice. Like the news came out while they were practicing about all the updates that the Cincinnati, medical center had given. And you could just see it on, Mike's face too. Like, man, it gives you a different type of spirit. Because this was a crazy situation where we didn't know what was going to unfold.
And the fact that it wasn't something directly that you saw happen. Like, it wasn't like, oh, man, that was a bad hit on his knee or, man, well, I know that's an ACL. It wasn't one of those situations where a guy grabs his shoulder. This was something you didn't know anything about. So, yeah, I think the whole league was on pause. You mentioned something, I'm not sure, Kayla, too, on some more breaking news around them. Will, Kayla?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is news from Sham Charania this morning talking about Damar Hamlin. The best update we've had so far.
This is great.
Said the breathing tube is out of Damar Hamlin as of this morning, and he has begun talking to Buffalo Bills teammates again. Hamlin has had a breathing tube in his body through his throat since Monday night, but no longer needs it and can fully breathe on his own. And that was the big next step that doctors needed to see from him yesterday. That is a huge blessing this morning, and just outstanding news for Damar Hamlin. And as we say that, Ian Rappaport has also tweeted the same thing, adding some more details, saying Bill safety Damar Hamlin is addressing the team via FaceTime for the first time.
I don't even know what to say.
Breathing tube is out. He spent the morning speaking to various teammates on FaceTime. Now he's delivering a message to the entire team.
Where's the game at this weekend? In Buffalo? I'm not sure yet, but God, dog. I'll say it now because I didn't want to say it. I'll give credit to who said it. Jael actually said it in our chat a couple days ago. Nobody's saying this, and I didn't want to say it at the time. The dude died on the field, and now he's up giving updates.
I am in shock.
Answered prayers.
In every good way.
Certainly.
Woo!
Awesome.
That's tough. That's hard.
Well, the scenarios for a potential AFC championship game at a neutral site were given yesterday, and I had to read this for about 20 minutes and still didn't understand it until essentially I saw a graph that Ian Rappaport put out this morning. So essentially, you have a neutral site game if that includes Buffalo or Cincinnati, who could have gotten the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. So essentially, the way that this happens is if Buffalo wins and Kansas City wins, Buffalo would not have had a chance to win that last game with the tiebreaker over Kansas City. That would give a neutral site game. So if it's Buffalo, Kansas City, you have the chance of a neutral site game. And if it's Cincinnati against Kansas City, you also have a chance of a neutral site game if the Bills and Chiefs both lose this weekend. So you've got a ton of different ways that this can go down, but you're looking at a thing that is going to be voted on today by the owners of a potential neutral site in the AFC Championship game, should that include Buffalo or Cincinnati against Kansas City.
It's going to be interesting, too. It will be interesting to see how the owners react to this, too.
Yeah.
In the sense of doing the right thing by either Cincy or by Buffalo with what they've kind of gone through. Is it, hey, you know what? He's fine, so let's continue as usual. Because, quick pro tip, owners are really brash when they come down to, business. They just are.
We've seen that.
I had a conversation with some folks the other day speaking about this, the Hamlin situation. It was like, well, maybe you've heard differently than we have. And I was like, yeah. It's a different scene behind closed doors. So I don't know how it's going to shake out, Will. It's just I'm excited for the young man right now.
On the injury report for the Titans going into tomorrow, Christian Fulton and Amani Hooker questionable. Traylon Burks, his status up in the air as well. Mike Vrabel saying he hopes to get him out there, and they held him out of practice yesterday morning. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Simmons is ready to go. Nicholas Petit-Frere questionable. Danico Autry ready to go. And Derrick Henry back in his hometown, ready to go against the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. 615-737-1045. Before we get to Jim Wyatt, we go rapid fire on the phone lines this morning. We go to Bob up first to begin our number 4. What's going on, Bob? Good morning.
What's up, Bob?
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Just wanted to say that, the person that said that somebody deserves to win or doesn't deserve to win, that's hoo-ha. Yep. Nobody deserves anything. Yep. But three keys, I think, for the game. I think, Ramon, you're going to be the best one to answer these. Number one, Jacksonville has not played a game under pressure. They've been, when you're 4-8, 2-6, you just go out there and play your best, and if it works out, great. If not, it's been a great year. So first game under pressure, and the guys locally have talked about how the 96 team didn't play a game under pressure until they played Atlanta, and had not been for a chip miss by Morton Anderson, that game goes very bad back in 96. So the other thing is, Tennessee has had 15 straight weeks of playing. No bye. The bye came really early. Does that affect them, and does that factor into this game? And then number 3, you've just played them 28 days ago, and I realize emotions get into it. We don't want to look that bad again. But you've had a chance to see the scheme, and usually when you play a team the second time, it doesn't go well for the team that won as it did the first time. What are your guys' thoughts on those?
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate the call, Bob. Thanks.
First one was their young team. That's what I said earlier. You beat them down while you possibly can.
Yes.
Yes. Them being up against it, but right now they do have momentum in their favor. They are red hot. Was the second situation that you guys remember? First, second. 28 days. That's not that long.
The bye week.
The bye week. Oh, yeah, midweek bye week. They can work two different ways.
They needed it at that time, though.
Yes, they did. And also the short week that they just recently had on that Thursday, that's a level of get back for this team as far as getting healthy. You set Jeff, you set D. Henry. I think that's the rest that they needed. And that 15-game stretch of playing games, it can also be a situation to where momentum just carries you. I just think this Titans team has just been snake bitten as far as injuries.
Can I add to that, too?
Yeah.
They've also been unfortunate, and I know that we've said this on the show, with their schedule this year. It's been a little bit weird with the Thursday games, the Saturday games, the short rests in between. It's been a really weird schedule.
It has been. All things point to every team, both these teams, Titans and Jags, just being piped up about this weekend. I don't think there's no other way to play this one.
I think the most difficult thing about the 15 straight weeks, and Mike Vrabel's mentioned this, they haven't been able to practice full speed. Yep. And Mike Keith echoed those comments. And Coach Mack said that yesterday, that this week they were able to practice full speed for the first time in probably 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good thing when you're putting a new quarterback into the fire in his second start. That's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
615-737-1045. Calbo up next with us on the phone lines. Good morning, Calbo.
Hey, good morning, fam. Hey, look, check it out. First and foremost, happy born day, Ron.
I appreciate that.
Many more. All right, second thing, I got a cousin who lives down in Jacksonville, a new fan. She was like, it's going to be cold on that guy. I said, y'all going to be just fine. When we come out and throw a match on that dumpster fire, you can warm up there. Let's tighten up, baby. Tighten up. Let's go.
My guy he's active this weekend.
I love it. Thank you, Calbo. Appreciate the call.
Get that dumpster fire going.
Dumpster fire. Love it.
It was funny because, I mean, on Christmas, there was that stat that in Miami, it was their second coldest game on record, and it was 45 at kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Second coldest, and that's all?
Yeah.
Well, we were in Fort Lauderdale. That had gotten warmed up.
Yep.
A girl that was a server that was like, man, she almost called in because it was 32 degrees.
You've got to be kidding.
They told us the same thing. We were at this Cuban restaurant. This lady was like, man, it was so cold here this past week. It was in the 30s.
Oh, my gosh.
She said she was going to call in because it was too cold.
And what's crazy is, remember I said that was my first trip?
Yeah.
It was so disgustingly humid and nasty. And my hair was like matted to my face after that trip. So it's either like humid and nasty or they're complaining about 47-degree weather.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So basically you just said that Jacksonville's miserable.
I did not say that, but
I'll say it.
Sounds like it.
My words will paint a picture.
You said what you...
That's why she's a capital J journalist.
That was well done.
That's good.
We take one more call from our guy, Andrew in Portland, before we go to break this morning. Hello, Andrew.
We got Drew up in here.
Good morning. I have a few quick things. First of all, God is good. I'm so glad to hear about
Yes.
Hamlin. That is awesome.
Yep.
Man. I just can't, that's fascinating. The fact that he literally died on the field and he's up and talking. That's just, you can't tell me that ain't God. Now, Ramon, I hear you have a birthday. I'm going to give you my own version of a happy birthday. I'm going to give it to you live and in living color. Bleep you, Ramon Foster. Now, bleep
the
you,
real
Ramon
reason
Foster. I called. There is only one person that I have not liked sharing my name with, and that is a host on the Lucas Panzica show by the name of Buck Rising. For those of you who don't know, his real name is Andrew. But now that we have Andrew from Gallatin, my friend, actually, no, my enemy, you're going to have to call in with a different name, because when you call in and say that your team deserves it because the Titans are injured and your team hasn't won the division in so long, listen to me, dude. Bleep that terrible take. That is trash. Nobody deserves it except for the team that wins the game tomorrow night. Your Jacksonville Jaguar mascot is wearing his Speedo a few weeks early because come playoff week and playoff season, he's going to be on a boat because y'all ain't going anywhere after Saturday. We're going to whoop it. Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate the call.
He put in the chat, he's active. Ooh.
An imposter, Andrew.
Imposter, Andrew. That's what he is.
Hardly know her. Coming up next, Jim Wyatt joins us after getting an orange visor from Josh Dobbs, discusses the comfort level for Josh going into his second start and the ramifications of this game moving forward into the offseason. How does tomorrow's result affect the next steps of the most interesting offseason we've seen in quite some time for the Tennessee Titans. That's coming up with Jim Wyatt on the other side. Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 104.5 The Zone.
You, Aaron Rodgers.
Friday edition of Ramon, Kayla, and Will is powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Little Sturgill Simpson
God, I
for your
love
Friday
Steve.
morning.
He's good.
Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling with you. Jonathan Schaefer, our producer, as we go to the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline and check in with Jim Wyatt, TennesseeTitans.com, joining us this morning. Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope you guys are doing well.
We are good. And Jim, I want to start with the starting quarterback, Josh Dobbs, gifting you with a little something yesterday in the locker room. Do you have the orange visor nearby that Josh Dobbs had for you yesterday?
I have it nearby. I'm not wearing it.
Okay.
But it is nearby. and Josh Dobbs, a great young man. I really have enjoyed being around him the last couple of weeks. He'd been kidding me about getting me a new visor since the first day. I interviewed him with a group of other Titans reporters, and then he gave it to me yesterday, and it was funny. And again, he's a great young man, but I hope he doesn't think I must show up at practice next week wearing that visor, because I've been a Vanderbilt fan since I was a kid. That's one of the things that it's brought a lot of attention to the fact that I'm a Vanderbilt fan, but went to the University of Tennessee, which is true. But some people think, well, how did he go to Tennessee and become a Vanderbilt fan? And that's not how it went down.
Right.
I became a Vanderbilt fan when I was about 6, 7 years old, when my dad started taking me to games out there. And I've been a Vanderbilt fan since I was a little kid. So I've just been loyal to them. Had a great time at Tennessee, made a lot of good friends, a lot of great memories. My son went to school at the University of Tennessee, had a great time. I just am loyal to my teams, and I'll always be a Vanderbilt fan, although I've had a lot of respect for so many people who played at Tennessee. I've got so many friends that are Tennessee fans. And it's impossible not to like Josh Dobbs. He's just a great young man, and he's been such a great addition to the Titans since he's been in town. And he bought this thing at Fanatics. He had it shipped out. He gave me the box. He bought it at Fanatics and was sent to the Titans facility in his name. He paid for it. So it was
Incredible.
It was pretty funny.
I love it, Jim. And it's been cool to see Titans fans get familiar with Josh the way us Tennessee fans did, 5-6 years ago, when he kind of took over that locker room and really became such a likable guy for all SEC fans who watched him play. Just how impressed have you been with the poise that he's had with just a few short weeks as the quarterback here and in that locker room, and just how quickly that he got up to speed? It's certainly not normal what he's been able to do.
It's not. And, I think as part of this, unfortunately, some people have taken as an opportunity to take a shot at Malik Willis. How can, Josh Dobbs come in here in 2 weeks, or really in 8 days, look better than Malik Willis looked in his 3 starts? And we can't ignore the fact that Josh Dobbs has been in the league for 6 years and has been around NFL offenses and NFL players and prepared like an NFL player does, and Malik Willis just hasn't had that opportunity. But there's no question that he did look better against Dallas, and he's looked good in practices. I think a lot of it is because he's so smart, but also he's got a great work ethic. He just got a great way about him. He gets along with everybody. I've watched him from afar when he played at Tennessee and know all about his story and how smart he is, but so I'm not surprised that he has had the impact that he has in such a short amount of time. But I can tell, just being around him just a short period of time, just how genuine he is, how much it means to him, how thankful he is for his opportunity. And he's an easy guy to root for. I mean, I hope a lot of Vanderbilt fans or Alabama fans or Florida fans or Georgia fans that root for the Titans can realize how nice a young man this is and support him and this team moving forward.
Jim, that's probably about 80,000 plus people who now believe you are our new VFL, man, in case you were wondering, too. I hated to retweet that out, but I felt like if you get a visor, and you got to be known as a new VFL, so congrats.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I am a VFL. I admit that, but it's Vandy for life.
Oh. There it is.
Jimmy, I knew you were good at this thing, but I didn't know you were this good, man. God.
But again, Ramon, I've got so much respect for tennis people like you and my buddy Ron Slay, who I've known since his days at Pearl Cone, and Josh Dobbs. And it's funny, growing up a Vanderbilt fan, when I was a lot younger, I maybe didn't appreciate, players that went to University of Tennessee. They were the enemy. I rooted against them. And then since I've been covering the Titans and seen so many of the former UT players come into the locker room, I've certainly got a completely different respect for the true VFL. So
thank you.
I'm pulling for Josh Dobbs, and I don't have the same feeling that a lot of other Vandy fans do.
We got a sensible one out the group, man. but Jim, this is a question I have, man. You have two teams, honestly, on the opposite end of the spectrum. You got this 5 out of the last 6 for the Jags, and you got the Titans losing 6 straight. You got a team of, the Titans who've got some really prominent players that are getting older. I don't want to say getting older. And then you have this youthful just progression that's going on right now in Jacksonville. How important is this game because of those reasons? Like, if that young group in Jacksonville learn how to win?
Well, I think you have to be realistic about things. And this is a Jacksonville team that has a quarterback that's in his second year who looks like he's on the verge of becoming a superstar. They went out in free agency and got some really good players. They have drafted well. It's a team that's on the rise. And I think down there, I'm sure they're talking about this being a changing of the guard type of game. Like, this is when they try to take over the AFC South, and not just for 2022, but for years to come. And I think the Titans and the veterans that they have on this team, they're trying to say, hey, we still run this division, and it's not going to stop this year. So I think the Titans need to rise up and get back to playing like they played, earlier this season, like they played in previous years. This team is certainly capable, even though it's a different team than what it looked like at the start because of all the injuries, but still got a head coach who very smart and knows how to adapt and knows how to get players ready to play. And as you mentioned, still got veteran players that have been in big games before. And so when they show up down there and what's going to be an incredibly hostile atmosphere, kind of is going to remind me of being down there in 99 for the AFC Championship game. The Titans are going to know they've been in these situations before. And a lot of these Jaguars players have not.
Hey, Jimmy, I kind of painted the picture for these guys and the listeners early on in the show, saying that locker room just felt happy yesterday, just energized. And you were out at practice the entire day. I saw it because your hands were freezing cold when we talked to head coach Mike Vrabel. But for you, in the sense you're getting just this week, what did you see out in practice in terms of the kind of vibe of this team?
Yeah, it was a weird start to the week because because you got a game, with so much at stake, but because of what happened with DeMar Hamlin on Monday night, it was a subdued locker room on Tuesday. Personally, I didn't really feel like asking any football questions. Because of what everyone saw happen and just how much you were worried about DeMar Hamlin, and just because of players knowing this is one of their brothers that's fighting for his life. I think as his condition has improved and you've been able to hear the stories about his improvement from afar, I think that kind of lifts some of the cloud that was keeping things somber. And I think as the week's gone on, I think this team has gotten a little bit more energized. I think having a week of practice where you can actually practice. There have been so many practices this week where I've gone out there and watched walkthroughs, and you just can't get better doing that. You just don't have the same energy. This week, for the first time in probably a month, they've been running around out there, and I think that has helped Josh Dobbs get on the same page with his receivers. It's unfortunate that kind of slowed down with Traylon Burks on a couple of days ago with his groin injury. Hopefully, yesterday just allowed him to kind of feel like himself more. But he was able to get some good work in Josh Dobbs and really the whole team playing with speed and building some confidence. And we'll see how that kind of pays off on Saturday.
We were talking about Josh Dobbs and just to have possibly Traylon Burks out there. We know a little bit of a setback with the groin. Mike Vrabel said that they held him out of practice yesterday, but he seemed like it was a positive sign that he could be out there Saturday. Just how big could he be, and how important is it that he's out there?
Well, I think it's important because I think anytime he's been able to play, when he's had stretches this season where he's been able to play and build some confidence and get into more of a rhythm, I think he's been good. I thought he played well on Thursday night. Unfortunately, he's just had to deal with a lot of setbacks that's kind of kept him from really taking off. But he's different than anybody they have as far as being able to make contested catches and to get open and to break tackles and to really make plays. And when he's out there, it takes attention off of some other guys as well. So they need him to play, and hopefully he will be be able to do his thing without any limitations. But I'll be curious watching pregame warmups. I know that because I think things were looking good. Up until I guess Wednesday, and then scaled back a little bit, and then yesterday obviously we didn't see him at all. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Jim Wyatt, TennesseeTitans.com, with us this morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. Jim, we're talking about these injuries and just specifically on defense without Andrew Adams this week. Who do you expect to get some more looks in that defensive secondary, whether it's Josh Kalu or just hoping to have Amani Hooker back? Who needs to step up in a big way against this Trevor Lawrence-led offense?
Yeah, I think Kalu is going to be, Will, a big part of it. And I think, certainly he's benefited by having the experience. I mean, you hope that Amani Hooker, who's practiced some this week, he didn't practice yesterday, but you hope he's back in the mix. Christian Fulton, certainly trending like he could be back in the mix. So, I mean, those are positive signs. And you need guys like, Roger McCreary to kind of settle down and play well. Troy Avery in the mix as well. They've got some numbers back. They've got some guys that have played a lot of snaps back. I think what's key is not to leave those guys hanging out to dry, and you've got to be able to get some pressure on the quarterback. And, one really positive sign from this week is seeing Danico Autry, bounce around, have up in the step more than we've seen in 6 weeks. And the same with Jeffrey Simmons. I think the week helped him as well. So they need to work together. I mean, the pass rush has got to get there. They've got to get their hands up, knock some balls down. They got to put them in some longer down and distance situations where Trevor Lawrence just can't sit back there and really pick them apart like he did, in the first matchup.
Jim, I'm curious, does Trevor Lawrence remind you of any past quarterbacks you've seen play against this Titans team? And when you watch him play, and going back to December 11th and really just the run that he's been on over these past couple of months, what impresses you the most about him?
Well, I think, just how much he's changed from last year to this year has impressed me the most. I mean, he wasn't in a great situation last year because of the way their season went, and really because of their head coach, and just because of what sounded like a toxic atmosphere down there. And now he's working under a coach who instills confidence, has proven that he knows how to win. He's proven he knows how to work with quarterbacks. And they've got some players around him that can make plays, not only at receiver, but at running back. So he looks like a veteran, and he's just in year 2, and he plays with a lot of poise. I've really been impressed with him. I hate that he's in the division and just in the second year, because this is not just going to go away. He's just going to keep getting better like he did at Clemson. So the Titans need to figure out some things to keep him from barking at the crowd like he'd love to bark his own crowd. But when he walked out of Nissan Stadium, last time he was here, I mean, I saw a side of him I'd not seen before, which is kind of a cocky, excitable guy.
Wow.
Who was rubbing it in the face of a lot of Titans fans. And the reason that happened is because they won going away, and they feel good about themselves. So Titans need to knock him down a few pegs.
See, Jim, this is what I was saying earlier about why you can't let Trevor get a win like this. You sweep him, like that means a lot. You cover this team, you know that. Can you cover for me, please, the sweeping? What does that mean for the Jags moving forward? But also, we had an off-air conversation about use of Derek, or lack of use of Derek, in the Dallas Cowboys game. And I felt like the way we viewed that offense with Dobbs and Hassan Haskins, it was more downfield. It was less, just hand the ball to the running back type of an offense. Did you view it that way also?
Yeah, and as far as the sweeping part of it, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the Jags the Jags have only swept the Titans once since '99 in the Titans era, and that was back in 2006. And so, yeah, I mean, Titans don't need to let that happen again. Not only because it's going to lead to the Jaguars winning the division and lead them to thinking this is a sign of things to come, but the Titans have been able to respond when the Jags have won the first game of this series in the past. So that's one reason they don't need to let it happen. And I'm sorry, Ramon, I started looking at the stats for the sweeping, and I've zoned out on the second part.
All good. Second part was I felt like in the Cowboys game with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback and Hassan Haskins at running back, there wasn't a necessary need for you to just say, hey, break glass in case of emergency and hand it to Derrick Henry. And it felt like the offense was more vertical. It felt like the offense had more variety. And I don't think it's just a Josh Dobbs situation. We were talking off air like, well, is this better if you don't plan on giving the ball to Derrick every single time? Although he's that guy, and I understand it.
Yeah, Ramon, and that's the biggest question for me going in this game is what it is going to look like. And I get to watch practice. I can't give necessarily hints about what I see. But after that game, I mean, you're exactly right. The offense looked completely different, and it wasn't dependent on the run game. And it looked good. And so do the Titans go to that and try to build on that, or do they try to take pressure off of Josh Dobbs by relying on Derrick Henry? And personally, I mean, I think the play is you don't go back to a boring offense. It's not boring when Derrick Henry's running the ball. Don't get me wrong. When he's running the ball 30 times for 200 yards, that's not boring. But we saw some more variety in there on Thursday night. But I tend to think that the key to winning there is running the ball and establishing the run with Derrick Henry. I think he had 96 rushing yards in that first game against the Jaguars in order. So, I mean, I think you try to start doing that again on Saturday night. And if you have success, that opens up the play action, and that opens up for more downfield pass. And they got to work hand in hand together. But I think it goes back to starting with the run, and then you pick your spots in the passing game with a quarterback who has proven in just one game that he can make some throws downfield, and you got to be able to hit some of those.
Yeah.
And taking care of the football, Jim Wyatt, that's got to be a thing that they're focused on in this game, especially Derrick Henry. I know he probably wanted to get out there in the last game and say, hey, I'm going to take care of the football, but he didn't play. So, again, going down to his neck of the woods where he's from, I mean, just how important is that, Jim? And he probably can't just go into it thinking too much about it, right?
Yeah, and he has been thinking about it too, because you can tell it still ticks him off when it's brought up. I mean, he was asked about it again in his media availability at the start of the week, and it's not, and he didn't take an opportunity. Hey, I've discussed this. I'm moving on and forgetting about it. You could tell he's still bothered by the fact that he's had a fumbling issue of late, and we can't ignore the fact that this game against the Jags turned last time because of a Derrick Henry fumble. So, yeah, that can't happen. I mean, Titans turned the ball over 4 times in that game, and the Jaguars are good enough to beat the Titans without getting turnovers. So if you're going to give them 4 turnovers, then you're just going to make it that much more difficult on yourself to win. I think if the Titans turn the ball over 4 times on Saturday night, they're not winning that game. So Derrick Henry's got to hold on to football. I think that's another reason why he's especially motivated going into this game. And Josh Dobbs, you have to be careful with the football as well, because he turned the ball over twice and was fortunate he didn't have a pick 6 in that game as well. And some of this stuff's easier said than done when you're going into a place that's going to be rocking and they're going to be as excited. I think this is the biggest regular season game in Jacksonville Jaguars history. So it's going to be a wild atmosphere down there, and they're going to be hunting for footballs, and Titans got to do a good job of protecting it, and certainly would serve themselves well if they can create some themselves.
Jim Wyatt has been our guest. TennesseeTitans.com at Wyatt Sports is where you can find him on Twitter. Jim, thanks so much. Enjoy the game.
Okay, you guys have a good weekend. Appreciate it, and glad to be a BFL.
I love it. There's Jim Wyatt with us this morning.
I was hoping he did it.
On the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Coming up next, keys to the game for a Titans win presented by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. And the real reason why Jim Harbaugh is looking at the NFL revealed this morning. A little bit of information on why Harbaugh might be leaving Michigan. Coming up next on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 104.5 The Zone. One final segment before a showdown for the AFC South. It's Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Much more coming up in these final few minutes. But first, real quick, a report that Jim Harbaugh and Michigan are under investigation by the NCAA. Interesting stuff this morning, reported by Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports, saying that Michigan and Harbaugh are being investigated for numerous potential rules violations.
Let's go.
Oh,
we'll see
my
you, Jim.
goodness.
Let's go, baby.
Those don't hurt you when you're the head coach of the Indiana. Well, no, they got Jeff Saturday. When you're the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. NCAA can't touch you. We go to the phones for the one final time here this morning, and anytime this name pops up on the call screener, you know something spectacular is about to occur. Funky Cheese Man in the building. Good morning, Funky Cheese Man.
What's up, Cheese?
Hey, top of the do, Hickey, fellas.
Good morning.
Let me tell you right now, I'm active. I'm all the way with it. All the way with it. I'm going to tell you right now, Solid Bob's sidekick go get canceled this week. Ain't nothing to it. All these people out here talking about they inactive, they scared. They need to put their pink panties on, because we going to come through and thunder on them. Know that. By the way, hey, anybody else out there talking about, oh, it's Jacksonville 6 in a row. 7 is God's number. So we going to win this here. This ours. Right here. This ours. Tighten up. Get better. Tighten up. Get better.
Tell him, Cheese.
Funky Cheese
There
Man,
it is.
very
That's
active
my
this
dog.
morning. Thank you, Funky Cheese Man.
That's my dog.
Appreciate you.
Ooh, okay.
Our keys to the game for a Titans win are brought to you by Toyota and your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Ramon Foster begins our proceedings with his first key for a Titans victory on Saturday night in South Florida.
I'm not even worried about the offense. We'll go defense. Defensive front. Terrorize Trevor.
TT.
That's it. TT.
TT, baby.
TT. Terrorize Trevor, man, in a sense that he will fumble the ball. He's always looking to make a play because he's a thrower. He's a passer. He gets that. You have to terrorize this young guy, whether it's hits to the ground. You know what, man? I'll take that 15. It's cool. You know what? Keep him on the ground. Even if you're not sacking him, you have to terrorize him in a way that makes him uncomfortable. That crowd is going to be loud. It's going to be. It's a night game in Florida. It don't matter what city it is in. It's in Florida at night, y'all. Terrorize Trevor first and foremost.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you on that. But since I have to change it up, I'll go with the atmosphere and what it's going to be like, because you've heard it's one of the biggest games in Jags history. That's how they're treating it.
Mm-hmm.
So I say you got to get in there and you got to shut those Jags up. So get out, put some points up on the board, shut them down early.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Titans win this game as long as they don't lose the turnover battle. I don't see any way that you go into that environment and you win if you lose in turnover margin. So that was the story of the first matchup against this team on December 11th. It's time to get a little bit of revenge. And I'm looking at the mayor of Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Byard has stepped up in so many primetime games that he is the primetime performer for this Tennessee Titans team. I think he gets a pick in this game. I think the Titans win this game.
Okay.
I started the week really negative on this game. Just didn't really feel like the Titans had a good shot to be dynamic enough on offense. As the week has continued, I've started to feel better and better about this game with this quarterback. And there's just something about Derrick Henry against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Until I see the Titans get swept by Jacksonville, I'm never going to pick it to happen. So I've got the Titans in this one, and I think they win the turnover battle, or at least tie the turnover battle, and do enough to win this one.
My last key, don't get cute. Whatever is working, stick to it. That was a separator in the last game. Don't get cute. If you're seeing ghosts, you know what? Check down. There's no need to throw the ball away. Dobbs, that's my guy, hands down.
Yeah.
Play the game. You have a better opportunity next year if you just play your role, make the plays you're supposed to, and go from there.
And while I want to see kind of what we saw from Dobbs in that first game, I don't think you can say this game without bringing up Derrick Henry's name. He owns Duval County.
Tell him,
He's
Kayla.
from there.
Tell him.
I feel like that just has to be the big part of your game plan on offense, no matter what. And let's get that fourth quarter touchdown, D. Henry.
Gotta have it. And he could also be lead.
Birthday to you.
Oh, it's not Marilyn Monroe, but it's
my
Robert
goodness.
Walsh.
Happy birthday to you.
By God, that's Robert Walsh's music.
Happy birthday, Ramon Foster. Happy birthday to you.
Who needs Marilyn Monroe?
I was thinking, damn, that girl can't sing. That's wrong.
You know she's ugly. You know she's ugly. What's going on?
That was incredible.
That's, hey, on a Friday,
That
and
was
we acting like
incredible.
it. It was.
I gotta say it real quick. All
So-
right, real quick. I know y'all got Macho Man coming up. Ramon,
Yeah.
you have been the realest dude since I got here. You come in every day. You want to do good stuff. You're the realest. I about cuss. You're the realest dude. You are the realest dude. You've been nothing but nice to me since I got here. So I hope you have a great birthday, and I hope you act like it.
Hey, man, I promise
Get
you I
yourself some
will.
cookie, Bert.
Hey,
Get in
man.
here.
Get that cookie.
Get that cookie.
What cookie you talking?
Hey,
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'm
Bert.
out of here.
Oh, boy. Hey,
You
y'all,
got Buck's piece.
thank y'all, man. Y'all been too real today. I did not expect the birthday cake. Kayla, thank you, man. The shout-outs to Birthday Music. William, the highlights you've given me, man. I appreciate y'all. This team is cool.
Drink a choice on your birthday
Awesome.
real quick.
Man, Manhattan.
There we go.
And what a top shelf Manhattan. I might actually open up on Pappy's 20 this weekend.
Ooh. Happy birthday to Ramon Foster. We are back at it on what we think might be a Victory Monday morning at 6 a.m. And sending us on our way before the Buck Rising show, Macho Man Todd Titan takes you into your weekend.
Oh, yeah! Saturday night! Division title on the line, yeah. One winner, one champion, yeah. And Jacksonville Jaguars, you are feeling the pressure, yeah. You are feeling the pressure! Because history books have told us, yeah, expect the unexpected, that's right. And in big moments, big-time players step up. Because heavy lies the crown, that's right. And we have a man that wears the crown. And he's coming to your home stadium, yeah. So enjoy that cup of coffee in the big time. Because it's going to be short-lived. And the Titans are going to take on the AFC South Divisional Championship. And we're going to head to the playoffs with a little momentum, that's right. Because it's time to tighten up. Big hit!